Hello, little ones. Would you like to hear a story? I've got one for you. Of dungeons and douchebags. Long ago, the land of Irion was governed by many majestic empires. The humans of the plains, the elves of the forest, the Oreads of the mountains, the Merrow of the oceans, and the Kobolds and Okiti taking what was left. But, as is so common amongst all with darkness in their hearts, those who had power would not be satisfied until they had more. War broke out, alliances being made and broken in a second, as the once civilized races slew each other in droves in vain attempts to get one more seat of power. The Kobolds, on the brink of annihilation, sought out a new draconic god who would protect them. Instead, they found Jogotha. A powerful and terrible dragon, Jogotha cared not for the suffering of those around him. Taking advantage of the warring continent, Jogotha razed Irion to the ground, seeking to carve a mighty empire in his name. A last desperate alliance stood firm against Jogotha, and after a terrible battle, the dragon was finally slain. With Irion torn apart, and no one in any shape to continue the war, an armistice was reached, and the Great War ended. Now, many years later, Irion has started to rebuild, and the Age of Clockwork has begun. And our unlikely heroes, gathered first to celebrate a harvest festival, may soon find themselves at the center of another war. Trevlon, the halfling bard.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this mystery. Right after I've had this little nap.
Corellian, the kobold paladin.
You must understand, I will do whatever it takes.
Malifane, the half-elf rogue.
You have me rather curious. Tell me something about you.
Thavagath, the Goliath barbarian.
With victory comes honor. And goes.
And Momo, the Arakakra cleric.
You seem tense. Let me help you.
From humble beginnings, these brave adventurers may soon find themselves the key to saving the fallen empires. Last time on Dungeons and Douchebags, Fallen Empires. Our heroes discovered that the rubbery corpse of the Merrow was not just crushed, his bones and internals were liquefied, and that apparently this was a common occurrence when dealing with the Queen. Rather than try to investigate why exactly the Queen did that, the group realized they were getting tired and being beset by the forces of chaos and drunkenness, and decided to retire to the Quick Princess Tavern. At the tavern, Momo, possessed by a spirit of betrayal, gave Thavagath very strong drink and knocked him unconscious, which sent Esgal into a fury. Eventually, he was talked down, but not before revealing he had no patience for those who would corrupt and deprive others, whether that be from the effects of alcohol or politics. In the morning, they were awoken by a mysterious spirit with the head of a fox and a finely tailored suit, who compelled Corellian to go to the house of a poor family and throw away their food. Luckily, the party managed to snap Corellian out of the trance in time. Shortly thereafter, Kailani caught up with them and took them to the council chambers where they were to persuade the Council of Scylla to let them investigate the oil rig of the Kobolds. In the council chamber, our heroes were introduced to the various noble Merrow. But before Kailani could make their case, he was interrupted as the High Priestess of the Merrow summoned their massive queen. With Kailani flustered by her arrival, it is now up to the heroes to make their case. Will they persuade the Council of Scylla? What awaits them on Iron Isle Rig? Will Alex ever manage to get through a session without managing to mangle Corellian's name or name him something else? Find out on the next episode of Dungeons and Douchebags, Fallen Empires.
Let me take the boy.
Hello and welcome to Dungeons and Douchebags Fallen Empires. Before the show, we were given $1,000 fucking dollars.
That's enough money to put us all. That's enough money to put Internet Remix through college.
Yes.
I'm gonna go
fucking
learn.
wish, though.
We can pay for the orphanage's operation.
Hooray!
Yes! I can finally go to college.
Hooray,
Orphanage is
hooray.
just a cardboard box where Billy lives.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so, as always,
We're
with me
upgrading it.
today is our usual cast of characters. We've got JoJo.
Hello!
We've got Scott.
Hey.
We've got Phil.
Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior, Kyle?
No!
Yes, of course.
We have Atlas.
Sup, kids?
And we have Walrus.
I just want to make it known that crows are a vastly underrated animal and deserve more love in the community. Thank you.
Crows are incredible, thanks.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Flock
know.
of crows is
They
called
need-
a murder.
Well,
They
it's
need
your
more love.
blessing. I hope you know that.
I
Yeah,
actually
they're
saw
all-
some crows when I was at the Seattle Zoo. They are way bigger than I thought they were. They were absolute units.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah,
crows are-
they're huge.
But ravens,
Crows are
though, even bigger.
Ravens are absolute units.
Units!
Unit.
Units!
Look at this big lad. Absolute unit.
Unit.
Look at that. That was the first time I've ever heard you doing a Scottish accent, you weird Scottish man.
Yeah, I don't do it a lot because I think I don't know if I'm good at it, but I'll try.
Yep.
I'll try anyway.
They
I'll do it for the meme.
they might have been ravens
about
at the
it.
Seattle Zoo. I don't know. All I know, they were absolute units and they wanted people's fries.
Excellent.
I'll give them an entire box of McDonald's fries.
Nice. Before I go into a whole thing about how crows have learned McDonald's bags have more food than other bags, let's get back into Fallen Empires.
Yeah!
Uh,
Woo!
So, when last we left off, our heroes had arrived at the chambers of the Council of Scylla, where they hoped to persuade the council to let them sail out to the Kobolds' rig offshore at the City of Shimmering Lights. Unfortunately, their guide, Kailani, kind of was reduced to a stuttering mess when the Queen appeared. Evidently, he didn't think she was going to be here today, leaving our heroes to do the talking.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
She big.
She is big,
All
yes.
right.
I
Yeah,
want her
for
to
those
hold
of
me.
you who have forgotten, I am going to pull up a picture of the Queen.
My mom.
There she is.
She's
There
so
she is.
pretty!
She's
that?
certainly a thing.
That is a giant woman.
If she had feet, I'd want her to step on me. That's for damn sure.
All I want to do is
Cease and
see her turn
desist.
into a
Cease.
giant woman,
Cease
a giant
and desist.
woman. All I want to
Cease.
do is
Cease and
want to
desist.
see a giant woman.
Well, now
All I
demonetized.
want to do is see
Well,
her turn into a
I can't
giant
believe we're
woman,
dead
giant
because you
Stop.
sang the Rebecca Sugar song.
Well,
it's
the Queen
fun.
has fucking killed us all because Momo decided to sing an insensitive song about the sides of the Queen.
Yeah, how
It's a
dare
sensitive
you.
issue, Jojo.
She was offended.
It's not
Wow.
me. It's not Momo. It was me. It was out of character. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Disgusting.
No. It's beautiful. Anyway.
That's the
All
Junior
right.
saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
What do?
The High Priestess looks down at you and is like, "What's the matter? Are you lost?"
Trevlon.
Yes.
I'm lost in your big, beautiful green eyes.
Uh,
No, this
Trevlon-
isn't fresh.
Has a brief cough, and takes off his hat and steps forward and says, "May it not be said that we are absolutely humbled by your appearance, dear Queen, and
Save your
We will-
breath, land dweller. He does not speak the common tongue.
I
Blub,
see.
blub, 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 blub.
Will
As you say that, the High Priestess
Oh,
turns
shit.
to you with a very angry look in her eyes.
Oh my god, no!
Oh, no, I was kidding.
Kyle, save us!
You know this is fine.
If you're going to be children about this, you can leave. If you're not, and then she leans backward, since you clearly would fumble around drowning, in a metaphorical sense, of course, let me explain how this is going to go. There are 6 of us, well, 5 if you don't count the Queen because you cannot speak to her. And you will appeal each of them in turn as to why they should let you sail out to Iron Isle Rig. I don't expect it will go well, But we have been called, and I don't want this to be a complete waste of time.
I'm going to ask a slightly meta question here. Because I speak giant, and this woman is giant, does that count at all, or nah?
You can try.
Say something in giant and see if it gets his at attention.
I just thought of something super mean. Does she speak whale?
Oh no.
Okay, I'm back.
Try.
Sorry.
I have a good idea as to what she speaks.
I was about to say something, and then the internet cut out, and it's slightly related to what Jojo just joked about. Thavagath speaks giant, and this bitch be giant, so does that count, or nah?
All right. So when you cut out, I said you can certainly try.
Ah, sweetness. He just says in giant tongue, "Hello there, lady. You look very beautiful."
No response.
Why, hello there, lady. You look very beautiful, but in giant.
No response.
Travelon has a bit of an idea and goes, "I think I'd be able to send her a message."
No, stop.
Time.
I have.
Well, go
What
on.
is it you want to tell her?
When the time comes and when we are to make our case, you tell me.
Momo gets on Thavagath's shoulders and quietly and with a very shaky hand just raises his hand slowly.
Okay.
As to ask a question.
The High Priestess says, "You may speak."
What language does she speak?
I regret to inform you, little one, that all the languages of the common man spoken on Irion are foreign to Queen Arista. She simply does not have the requisite physiology, I believe is the word, to speak them or understand them.
I see.
Thank
you very much.
If I may.
I mutter under my breath in primordial. Could have fooled me.
Yep.
Okay,
Gwenimir,
didn't answer the question.
the
Okay.
High Priestess turns to you, says, "I heard that, and while I am flattered you speak the language of the elements, I'm afraid our queen does not. It makes communication quite hard.
Does magical communication work?
I think she needs to understand the language in order for magical communication to work."
Mind if I'm just gonna. Mind if I quickly check message and see if
Sure.
that is correct?
Let's double check that.
I'm drawing.
I think it
everyone.
has to be a language that
Just
Yeah.
one of you understands.
It doesn't say, so I'm gonna assume that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. GM rules. So hey ho.
So that you can't use it to talk to a bear, because the bear
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
understand you.
Okay. Travelon coughs again and says, "All right, we are to make our case to each of you in turn. That's fair enough. Pray tell, who do we speak to first?
Any
Unless
order you choose, it doesn't bother me in the slightest."
I quietly sort of lean over to Kailani and say, "Do you know which one of these guys is the most amicable?"
Kailani's still stuttering. He just
Travelon, can I put
vaguely points off to his left.
presumably towards Mizuko?
Towards
Mizuko, yes.
Mizuko, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to make a case about why we should be allowed to investigate the rake. Okay. So presumably, so what do we know about Mizuko just off the bat?
You were given a
Yeah.
brief introduction as you went into the chamber. Mizuko is a jeweler and crystal smith. That is what you know about him. And then Lycan on the upper right, he is a fishmonger and the biggest purveyor of foodstuffs in the city of Shimmering Lights. Then,
I'm sorry, did you say fishmonger?
yes,
Okay then. Sure.
Marrow ain't fish. You racist?
Yeah.
Marrow eat fish, you racist. What did you think I meant?
Again, could have fooled me.
All right, the lady whose name is not showing up. Come on, it's Doriana on the lower right. Doriana is the general. There we go. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Doriana is a general of some kind. Trenton on the lower left is a construction worker. Guinevere in the center is the high priestess. And you're pretty sure you know what Queen Orista does.
She queens.
Before I forget, Guinevere, if I may ask, does she understand mime?
Are you suggesting you play charades with the Queen?
Not necessarily charades. As a bard, I do have some experience in how to visualize certain things that are difficult to put in words. And whilst I wouldn't designate it as childish as charades, acting it out may convey something that words cannot.
Well, you're certainly welcome to try. As for what the chat is saying, Queen just watches them embarrass themselves in a language she doesn't understand. Isn't she bored? Yes. She looks incredibly bored right now.
Wait, so how does she rule this place if she's the only one who speaks her language and no one else can speak it? And she doesn't understand anything else? Does she just sit there?
Roll
and just...
religion.
Religion, my
religion.
favorite.
Man, I know gods. I know like 8 of them.
Religion.
I know exactly why. She's
big.
bored.
All right.
She's big. Big means power.
So, Malifane, you've read all sorts of interesting stories in your travels, and one of the ones that stuck with you about the Marrow, or other sea-dwelling races, is the legend of the Nereid. The Nereid are supposedly the 50 children of Panthalassa, goddess of the sea, and they're like divine spirits, each with a fraction of the goddess of the sea's power, and they are worshipped as a goddess or god would be by sea-dwelling races like the Marrow. So you're pretty sure Queen Orista is a Nereid.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, God.
Thanks, God. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Trevlon coughs again and asks, "May we have one small moment to convene amongst ourselves?"
I would say take all the time you need, but I am getting rather bored. Still, go ahead.
We'll be quick. And Trevlon sort of motions for everybody to get into a group huddle.
Well, do you have any ideas, Trev?
Well, to be honest, the first thing I thought about when I saw the Queen was, fuck. But now that I'm thinking, a lot of these people do seem to... The way I'm thinking it is, each of us could possibly speak to one of us could speak to each... Like, I don't think it would be a good idea if one of us spoke to everyone, for a start. I think in order to gain their trust, we need to express an interest in what they are good at, what they do as a job. And considering that we are a bunch of multi-talented, and we're all into different things, I think we need to designate who talks to who.
I don't know that me talking to anyone would be a particularly good idea, all things considered. You do understand why, Trev, right?
I do understand, but keep in mind, you won't be the hope would be you wouldn't have to talk to more than one person. For example, Corellian, you. I don't mean to stereotype or anything like that, but you presumably. Oh, give me.
Oh, is he in the void? I think Wallace is in the void.
Said, "Give me a second."
There's a spider in our bathroom. I have to deal with it.
Godspeed, Trevlon. Deal with That spider.
Godspeed, you magnificent son of a bitch.
Godspeed.
I mean, understandable. If there was a scorpion in my bathroom, I'd have to go deal with it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to deal with a scorpion in my bedroom/pillow once. It was not fun.
Oh, fuck
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
I
guess
just-
I'll die.
I just make my partner deal with those since he has the biggest shoes.
Yep.
I woke up in the middle of the night last night to Tyler, because I have a single bed at the moment. So Tyler sleeps on the floor, I sleep on the single bed, and we alternate every night.
Aw.
And I looked down on the floor in the middle of the night to see this big spider about that big, just on Tyler's back, crawling up. So I gently woke them up, saying, "Hey, the spider on your back," and the little shit just decided, okay, stood up and just walked out of the room with the spider on the back, like a boss.
Oh, that's awesome.
What was Tyler gonna do about it?
Just gonna take it off and take it outside. They're calm as fuck with spiders.
Fair enough.
What the heck?
I'm pretty calm about spiders, but he doesn't give a fuck. There's like one type of spider
deal
that he
with
doesn't
spiders.
like, but he doesn't give a fuck. It was crawling on his back and he didn't give a fuck.
I can deal with spiders. Scorpions, though, like, nah.
Trev on back yet? We need him.
Nope.
Trev,
I don't know what to do.
I'm just imagining.
You're the
like,
one
in the middle of
carrying this team.
I'm just imagining in the middle of this encounter, Chevlon's like, hold on a second, sees a spider and runs out of the council chamber. And goes,
Excuse me, Your Majesty. There seems to be a spider on your back. Let me just climb up and grab it.
So,
Shadow of
would
the Colossus, fish edition.
Oh my god.
all right. So,
Which people?
you know what, let me start. Let me do something at least. So, I still don't feel too sure about anyone here. Can I just roll insight to see if I can get like a glimmer of some hope from any of these?
Yeah, sure.
Now, which of these are you talking about? The fish people or us?
The marrow, yes.
The marrow.
Ah.
Just general insight on all of them?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. You look around and, like, a lot of the marrow are alternating gazing between the group and off into space. You get the feeling that a lot of them really don't want to be at this meeting. That's what you get from a general insight.
I am back. The spider went into a crack. We're fine.
Okay.
That's okay.
Cool.
All right.
It
Okay.
means it's still out there, so I'm afraid.
Don't worry, you'll be away from it tomorrow. I'm gonna have to see it.
So, bad news. Nobody's really interested in this meeting, so we might have some difficulty getting some intel, so to speak.
Oh,
Okay. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. As I say, we
So,
just have to talk to them about something that does interest them.
So, Trevlon, out of curiosity, you were telling me what I was potentially good at? I do enjoy flattery.
Do you have inclination to jewels, perhaps?
I mean, I was more on the mechanical end of things when it comes to working with my hands, but
Well,
it's a bit of a toss-up.
I would say that you would have more experience than any of us with the understanding of jewelry or mining or anything like that. So, I think it would be a good idea for you to speak to Mizuko. Now, this is the thing. You wouldn't be approaching him or her. I actually don't know. Well, wait a minute.
Racist.
Racist.
I thought I
Is-
was bad.
Is Mizuko a dude?
Mizuko is a dude, yes.
Mizuko is a dude. Great. I don't know if this dude is going to really care about the Kobold situation, because as he might not even care about what is going on currently, but what he would be interested in is the discussion of jewelcraft.
Isn't this the
And
exact same one who glared at you earlier, though?
No. That was Doriana.
Okay, we good.
well, if that's the case, you might be able to initial, like for example, say you start off your conversation with them discussing how jewelry crafting has been going in the city. Then discuss the possibility. Now,
I don't know. I just rolled in on the first boat. I'm a bit limited as to my actual understanding of how politics are in Irion.
don't think about the politics. Think about this person's job, and it's small stuff going to the big stuff.
All right, fine. I'll do my best. But should things end up going badly, I fully expect someone else to take over.
My main advice to you all would be this. Remember to make sure that the main thing we want to get across is that this black goop is bad for them particularly. We want to make this a personal thing. So start off by talking about what they're interested in and explain to them how this oil in the water might make their jobs more difficult. Okay?
Who do I go to?
I was assuming that they're to listen to
not to be that, not to be a assumption type. You would know how to talk to a priest, wouldn't you, Momo?
I mean, well, I could do my best. Since I lived with one since I was alive.
I would advise you talk to Gwenimere. And I know that she kind of looks a bit more intimidating than anything else, but I'm
She
sure...
looks a bit more intimidating than anything else you say, ignoring the giant 150-foot queen.
Okay, the queen, like, in terms of emotionally intimidating, you know? She said some mean things and I'm sad. Essentially, discuss with her the implications of this, ooze in a religious context, what it might mean. Maybe it might be a bad omen, something like that. I'm just spitballing here, but you get the gist. Thav, do you know how to fight? Better question. Do you know how military works? How organized combat works?
Does he? Is that a roll? Is that a roll he should make, or should I just...
Roll history. You got no fucking clue.
Drool starts going down Thav's face.
Okay. What? So okay.
Fucking blank looking.
So people we've not got designated to talk to them are Lycan, Doriana, Trenton, and the Queen. Remind me what Trenton's into.
Trenton is a construction worker.
Do you know how to build things?
Do I? I don't fucking know. I didn't think about this. Oh, that's... Oh!
It occurs to you, Thapagath.
That was a save.
That was a save, but I'm still going to go ahead. It occurs to you, Thapagath, that perhaps one day you might want to branch out your interests and write something down besides I wrestle men.
You can see smoke coming from the back of his head at this point. Drool still flowing like the Niagara Falls at this point.
Okay. Thav, don't take this the wrong way, but what are you good at talking about?
Oh no!
Thavagat, would you say that you're good at fighting?
He perks up at that point. So, fighting.
And then he just
Good
stops
job.
drooling.
I just kind of like reach up and like pat him on the elbow.
His mouth.
I kind of reach up and pat you on the elbow. Fighting's good, right? Would you say it would be difficult to fight if you're sick?
Yes.
Good job, Thav. There we go.
Since you know this, and since you are clearly a man well versed in combat, maybe Doriana will listen to you when you say that oil is gonna make fighting hard.
Sounds like plan.
I'm not bullshitting you here. I'm I really hope that is true. I'm sure it will be. You are great, Thav. Good strong arms. Use them here. No, don't actually use them here. Use them. Use your big strong arms and replace them with your...
The moment you say use them here, he just starts... You start bugging. Wait. Oh, sorry.
No, my analogy is getting a bit stuffed up. The giant woman is scaring me.
Momo grabs Thav by the face because he's still sitting on his shoulder. He just grabs him and says, "No, I need you to look at me, and I need you to believe that you can do this, and you can do good at what you want to do, and what you need to do. Because what you need to do right now is talk to the general and try and get them to like us."
At this point, Thav just nods, has a very serious face on him, just like, Lord believes in me.
We all believe
in
you, buddy.
But most importantly, I believe in you. And then Momo
Birds.
gives him a quick little peck on the forehead.
All right. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know much about fishing. What do you know about fishing, Mal?
Well, time to roll history, I guess.
Well, you read a couple of books on fishing. You know, like, the basics of how to fish, probably. Like, if you had to be the one on foraging duty, you could probably fish out some fish using techniques you learned. History check.
Oh, history check again. Okay.
No. I was doing a sarcastic toast to a history check. Do you know anything about fishing?
Try nature.
Google is your best friend right now.
Google doesn't exist in Arion. Stop metagaming.
What is this goggle you speak of?
What is this goggle? It sounds like someone who runs a lame stream that didn't get $1,000. Hey-oh!
Wait a minute.
Just kidding, we love you, even though we're the objectively best
Love you,
stream.
We love you,
Of
Kristen.
course.
There are no winners, just Kyle.
All right.
Just Kyle.
What's the nature check for?
I don't know.
Oh,
Fish! It's for fish!
Because
Fish.
someone
You
was
can
told me to.
identify a fish and probably talk for a couple minutes about fish. I am not
Excellent.
sure how that will help you, but there you go, fish.
It's
Okay.
fine.
Wait a minute. I
like
just had
him.
a
Do
thought.
you like fish? Does liking like fish?
I might not be able to talk much about the fish, but I do remember something regarding the construction. Do
Do
you guys
you think-
remember overhearing? Do you guys remember overhearing that rumor about the old mill?
Yes.
Yes.
What happened to it? It burnt down. Now, what is one way that something that can be used to burn down buildings? Fire
Oil.
and
Oil.
oil. Exactly.
And
There you
that's
go.
a pretty good thing for a fish farmer to keep in mind about. Well, presumably these mills is it feasible that Lycan also has a hand in the farming of other things in this area?
Probably if they talked about him as like a worker in food industry.
Well, that's a very good point to make, I think. If present the oil as a definite threat to food, and I think
Well,
as
Not to
well-
mention that, but oil fucks with fish in general at the beginning
exactly.
of it.
if that spreads, then shit's gonna go bad. So that's a good. Okay, I like that idea. Trenton. What's Trenton into? What's his likes and dislikes?
Well, according to his Tinder profile.
Oh my god!
Tinder exists apparently.
I swiped right, thank you.
He's getting a ton of likes.
Oh!
Malaphane's already in a committed relationship. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh,
He is?
story?
Backstory.
Backstory?
That's for another time.
Not metagaming.
No, I want to know now!
I ship him with his alter ego. That's for damn sure. I forgot.
That's weird.
Fuck
That's
off!
what says stop!
That's called masturbation.
Thank you
Yeah,
for the
that's
best, Kyle.
kind of weird. Thank you, Kyle, for.
That's...
What
Thanks.
the fuck, Kyle?
Stop, Kyle.
Kyle!
Please.
Kyle.
Do
Oh
us
my
all...
fucking
Do us...
God.
Kyle, how about you do us a favor and eat something?
Kyle, this is an intervention. You need
Kyle.
to stop donating. We appreciate it, but fucking stop.
Stop.
Appreciate it immensely.
It's like $1. Chill. I know. Another $1.
Yeah.
Here's another one for your family and another one.
one.
First it's $1.
Fallen
Then it's
Empires.
a fucking 1,000.
Kyle, Fallen Empires, everybody.
Fallen Kyle.
Fallen Kyle!
Yeah.
Fallen
Okay.
Kyle because he doesn't freaking eat!
Back to the plot.
Okay, yeah. What is... Okay, Trenton, what's his biz?
Construction.
Shit. Let me think. Okay,
Okay, let's try again. Contextually speaking, what are his turn-offs?
he would not like his constructions burning down. Neither would he like his constructions to get a lot of oil sapped in. That would stain them forever, basically.
Exactly.
And as a person who is living in a very packed town, I can tell him that pollution is probably not a very good thing at all.
One false move and click, boom. There goes
Exactly.
everything.
Okay.
Not to mention working underwater would be kind of difficult if the top is slicked with oil, yeah? Considering how much of a response I got when I just tried to touch it. It's not like I'm aquatic, but at the same time, yes.
It's not gonna do nice things to your skin.
Kailani, when
Well,
people come in contact with oil, how sick do they get per se?
well, it's pretty bad.
I-
Pretty bad. I think I don't.
At this point, Trevlon puts a hand on Kailani's shoulder, if he can. Trevlon's small. I don't know if he can reach.
Kailani is
But-
6 foot even.
Okay. Trevlon puts a hand on his arm. There we go. That's non-sexual. And says, "Deep breaths. You're going to be fine. We're all here to help." Can I roll persuasion to see if I can get him to calm down?
Sure.
Persuasion, baby. Here we go. It's me, Trevlon, the persuade boy. Fuck yeah.
Yay!
He starts taking deep breaths and is like, I will be back here. You've got this. I believe in you.
Thanks, Kailani. We
Okay.
appreciate it.
Just take deep breaths, and when you feel able to assist, don't hesitate.
Okay.
Now, on to the topic of how we deal with the Queen. I know that the idea of playing charades and acting out that the oil will definitely harm her people and herself is a crazy idea, but what else do we do?
Suffer unconsciously.
Work the best that we can on the other 5 people, perhaps, instead of resorting to interpretive dance?
We'll see, but keep in mind, the Queen's favor is going to go a long way. Remember, this is the woman that was able to jellify someone.
Yes,
What's
I
gonna s-
know, that's why I'm so damn concerned,
Yeah,
Trevor.
yes, but that's exactly why we need to make a good impression.
I need my
Because if she-
bones, Trevlon.
Ow,
I know
oh,
you
my
need your-
bones.
Bones
Okay,
to
so-
you.
Okay, what do I need to roll to check
Okay,
if any
personally-
of the other 5 people in the room are listening to our conversation intently?
Insight.
Sure they all
I've
are.
heard everything.
Just as a precaution,
Yeah, roll
everyone
insight
is
to
listening.
figure that out.
They're all just consistently listening.
Should we just
We haven't been
Gets it
sneaky
over
at all. We haven't
with.
been quiet at all.
No, you haven't.
They've
I
heard
mean-
every word.
I've been whispering, but
So as I said, roll insight.
I'll try, yeah.
You got it.
You've been at this for like a good 10 minutes. They've heard you. They're listening.
Okay,
so
right.
then they should know. Okay, sure, whatever.
Okay,
How
but-
bored does the Queen look right now?
She
Out of
really
10.
wants to leave.
okay. We need
Is she
double
gonna
time.
liquefy us?
It entirely depends on how quick we go now, I think. So,
Who's going first?
Caroline, go!
Not me! Not me!
I'll go first! I'll go first!
Too late!
Thank you,
Mo-
Momo.
Momo volunteered.
I
Me.
give a big old thumbs up,
All right.
and yeah.
You,
Oh, Christ.
Momo, you
Momo steps up and then looks back slowly. What do I do?
Your best.
Describe the oil rising as an interpretation of a bad sign, like religiously. Talk to her about religion for a little bit. Get her gears moving.
Momo, like, fuck, I'm actually getting nervous. I'm flustered. He starts, like, freezing up a little bit. Fuck, I'm actually getting nervous. So, what? I don't mean to start random.
You can
focus-
step up here rather than project your voice across
Yeah.
the room.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. He, like,
You
walks.
You
Like-
step down onto the ring in the center of the room of metal and glass, looking down at the deep, deep waters below. As you approach the stairs up to the High Priestess's platform.
He starts getting lightheaded. He's like, he starts like looking faint, and he's just so freaking nervous. Poor baby. So,
Oh, I have an idea. Okay, so I clear my throat enough so that hopefully Momo can see my attention.
Mama looks over.
And I just sort of do a couple, like, motions towards Thavgeth that sort of imply, do it for him.
I'll do it for him.
There it is!
Can we just give him inspiration for that?
I think Mama already has inspiration.
Well,
Yeah,
there we
I
go.
do! What can I-
Use it here if you want to roll.
Inspiration basically means you get advantage on any roll of your choice, and then you get rid of your inspiration.
Can I, what do I have to roll to talk smooth and whatever? Not smooth to, like, flirt with him, just, like, just be like, so here's the problem, bloody bloody blah, this is the issue, and I think this is what we need to do to solve it, if you're okay with it. With a religious tone.
What are you going to say?
I don't know! I wasn't planning!
You can't just roll your role play, I'm afraid.
You can't roll your roleplay.
Despite the fact that roll's in the name, it's very misleading.
The queen looks down and sees that's a really good dice roll, but questions what you're going to say. That's how I would pull that off.
Okay, alright. I got this.
You do got this.
You got this.
So, I believe the issue here is that, well, we obviously know that there's oil, or the black liquid is polluting this entire city, and, well, do you mind me asking if there's any churches? And if so, what gods do you worship?
You're asking if there are any churches in the city of Shimmering Lights.
He starts, like freezing up, and then he nods slightly.
Well, our major temple worships the Kraken Queen. We also have one to Melora for those of you who do not believe in our gods. But our main area of public study is a religious library. Texts on all sorts of gods from this world and beyond.
Now, may I ask you, is there any way that pollution would affect any kind of church?
No.
Like, he starts like sweating. He's like about to pass out and whatever.
Is this what you're here for? Trivial matter.
Do something.
And no,
Davagath, right, I'm gonna roll performance real quick. That determines one.
Oh
Lavgar
my god!
gets down on the floor like a puppy, on his back, and just does really cute things.
You
Like, sticks his tongue out just a teeny bit to release his full power, paws the air, purrs a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just does really, really adorable things in the eyesight of Momo.
You perform so well that Momo notices, and presumably is taken away from the stuttering. And if that doesn't work, the queen is at least stopping the dressing down.
Aww. Aww. Well, I imagine that the library is one of your main focuses of the City of Lights and Shimmering Lights. I apologize.
That is what I just said, yes.
I'm sorry. And, well, if people wouldn't be really attracted in... Please forgive me for saying, but people wouldn't be really attracted in coming to the library if there was pollution around, right?
She is just staring at you right now. Like,
Oh,
this
I hate
disappointed look on her
myself.
face.
With a what look on her face?
Disappointed. So what you're saying is I should be concerned about tourism?
I mean, I would be more concerned about the religious aspect. Like, how can people worship the gods that they believe in if they don't know how, or they're not really interested in coming to the specific location?
That seems as if it is an issue completely unrelated to your little spill out in the bay.
He's just like looking down and shuffling his feet.
The spill is causing the problem, and us cleaning it will fix.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is that I know I haven't been doing a good job of saying so, but we could, we want to help, and we want to help clean it up. And the spill could also,
Did we say that? Would I be able to point a message at Momo?
Sure, yeah.
I am so sorry, I'm so terrible!
It's okay, this
It's
is
fine.
totally in character, it's fine.
It's a character, yeah.
I point my finger at Momo and I say, the only way we're going to make sure that more of these spots of pollution don't pop up, specifically near the churches, is by going to the rig and seeing what's going wrong.
Well, you see, the only way we could, stop the oil spills by, I'm sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Trevon, realizing that there is still more stuttering going on, points a really powerful finger towards
Really powerful finger!
real strong finger, and messages again. The only way we are going to be able to stop more oil spills popping up and stopping more of these spills popping up and possibly preventing people from going to their places of worship or in fact desecrating the churches is by going to the rig and checking out what the problem is.
Okay. The only way that I can possibly see us stopping these spills and patches of oil coming up is if me and my party go to the rig and try and fix the rig.
Trevlon gives a big old fucking thumbs up the size of a goddamn Eiffel Tower.
Momo quietly looks over and he looks like he's about to freaking faint. It's awful.
There's a pretzel in my mouth, hold on.
Understandable.
Who does not have pretzels in their mouth?
Pretzel-related dramatic pause.
Yep. I've heard so much about you ever since you came to town, little bird. They say you're a sign from the gods, that your coming back to Irion means great things, great change. Personally, I am not impressed.
Momo's trying to hold back his tears.
Oh.
If you think you can clean up our bay with what? A rag and a prayer? Well, little bird, you have so much more to learn about this world, and I do not have time to be your teacher. You may go.
Momo slowly, like his head droops down a little and starts like walking back. And as he looks, like he turns his head away from everybody and like starts quietly sobbing and like goes behind Thavagath.
I wanna, if I get the opportunity to tell this woman that she is not nice, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it real hard.
All right.
I'm gonna go up to this woman and say, "Hey, you made a bird cry. What the fuck's wrong with you?"
Have you seen this precious bean? How could you?
How physically can you do this?
Sorry, ignore that
Can you
roll.
turn the fan on?
You roll a nature check, and naturally you think, wow, that woman's a bitch.
By your nature, you can determine that that's a bitch.
Out of sheer like weapons grade love for Momo, can I spawn like just will pumpkin seeds into existence?
That was an 11 in nature.
That wasn't what the nature was for. That was a complete accident, but alright.
I'm going to make it work. I am going to make it work.
Alright then. How about this? Fucking... Nah! Gonna check whether or not the DM's a dick.
What's a DM, Thavagath?
I don't know anymore.
You know what? So I get up and I walk over to the center and I just say, "Who are you to treat visitors or citizens for that matter like filth like that?"
Trevlon immediately points a finger at fuck Malifane.
Yep.
And goes, "She can presumably in some way talk to the queen. Don't do this. Come back, calm down. We will get this sorted."
She will turn you into jelly, and if she does not, I will turn you into jelly.
You were saying?
Pardon, my friend's high spirits today, dear priestess. It has been a long day, and we are simply in high tension at the moment. We apologize for any insult that may have come from our behavior. I take a deep breath, and I look at the rest of them and goes, "Calm down, everyone. Take this moment to keep yourself cool. I'll go next, okay?" And Trevlon takes a big ol' breath and starts heading towards Trenton.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Trenton? Okay, presumably Trenton's just looking at me like I'm some freaking demon.
You head up to the tall pillar upon which Trenton is sitting, kind of like looking in every direction except at you.
Excuse me, my lord. If I may ask, how is the situation in terms of, well, how long have you been head of construction in the city of Shimmering, in the City of Lights?
The shitty
That's not what I said. I'll fucking kill your face.
Kill me, please.
Kill you real life.
I crave Dad.
Children, calm.
He looks around and is like, "Oh, a
couple of years, 20, 30, lost track.
Trevlon sort of notices that Trenton's sort of looking a bit reluctant to speak, and sort of takes off his hat and looks and says, "If you don't mind my asking, sir, there is something seems to be troubling you."
Yeah. Just kind of eager to get back. You know how it is. No offense.
I know how it goes. Your work is underappreciated. I come from a town which is has in terms of a planning department and a construction department, not so good. Have you heard of Port Mirandu by chance?
Yeah, big trade partner. A lot of ships go there. Yeah, heard of it.
A lot of ships go there, and a lot of buildings have been attempted to be built there, but it's a bit of a jam-packed situation. So, as you can imagine, I've seen a lot of, well, just pollution, I guess. Nasty stuff on the streets just spilling everywhere. And it's as a person, as someone who I can tell takes a lot of care and effort and attention to his work, that sort of thing is not good to deal with.
This the pollution's in the port, yeah. Just
there actually is pollution in the port. A similar situation to, well, the similar situation to the pool that has popped up near the city here. It was a gelatinous pool, a big black blob of a thing that if one was to dip their finger in, they would not be able to take it out without some pliers. It's disgusting. It is not good, and it makes the town look stained. When I first came to this city, I marveled at the way that this place was designed, at the buildings, at the streets, at the sheer archaeology of it. But that pool...
As you talk about this, he just kind of leans back and looks away even further.
Trevlon stops and says, but I also noticed newer buildings built with a clear care. Not necessarily similar to the big pillars, but very good in their own right. But regardless of that fact, no building can withstand getting stuck with this stuff. I don't think that pool in Port Mirandu is going to go anytime soon. And the fact of the matter is, it might take some time for that splotch to go away as well. But I do know this. Access to the rig where mining has been going on, and presumably this oil spawned from, might be the way to make it stop. We might be able to investigate it and make sure that this place, it remains a clear exemplar of what happens when somebody gives a shit about its town.
All right. He was looking away the whole time until you said the rig, when his eyes snapped over to you. You seem misinformed.
Now this guy is like...
You seem misinformed. You talk about the buildings in town, those are not built by me. That's the work of gemsmiths and other people. That is not my specialty. What I did build was the rig. So what you're saying is, you don't think my work on the rig is good.
I am going to shit!
I already did!
Oh my god.
Trevor takes a markedly different tone.
Oh, this is just deviant art.
And Trevlon looks at Trenton and sort of looks at and sort of squints his eyes and goes, "You built the rig?"
Yes.
Pardon me for assuming otherwise. How much knowledge do you have about the rig, if I may ask? How much, you know?
You are asking...
oversight did you have in this building?
You are asking the man who helped the kobolds build the rig how much knowledge he has about the rig.
I'm just simply asking for facts about it. To be honest, the fact that I've heard very little concrete stuff, and I would rather hear it from the horse's mouth.
You seem to have made up your mind about what facts you have heard already.
Oh, for the love of Elistray.
Would I be able to roll intimidation in this next check?
Sure.
I would like to at this point out to the rest of the stream that Atlas is just absolutely shitting themselves right now. They've taken off the headphones, have leaned back, that I could see them sighing. I could feel
I'm extremely anxious when speaking to any sort of authority or royalty, both in real life and in game, and with good fecking reason, alright? Feck off, Bill.
No, I'm saying I love it. I'm in complete agreement. Holy fucking shit.
I know how you feel to a T!
By the way, this is me every time we're not on camera. This is just what I do.
It's fine. It's okay. I know how you feel, man.
I'm just happy I'm not alone.
Dude. Oh, God.
Okay, sorry.
I'm literally
Intimidation.
gonna cry.
So, intimidation, you say?
I want... Okay, allow me to first preface what I'm about to do. Trevlon is going to essentially tell him that since he built the rig, he has a responsibility to make sure that nothing is wrong. And the fact that he's not telling me anything about it gives me no indication to say that it's not faulty. I am a journalist. I am a person who writes the stories and the facts of the world. And if this person doesn't tell me the facts, I will tell them what I know. And what I know is that they didn't let us investigate, and they let the pollution happen.
But Walrus, that's fake news.
That's fake news. Fuck it, fake news.
That was just a distant JoJo scream.
I should say that this was like a more, this is more like passive-aggressive intimidation. By the way.
Alright. He stares at you, and then leans back and says, "You may go."
Trevlon takes up his hat, bows, and walks back.
Malifane has this very, very satisfied smile on his face and just nods toward Trevlon.
Trevlon isn't making much of a face at all. He's just kind of like thinking.
Have again, pats Trevlon on the back. He's proud of him. Phil, however, is fucking shitting himself.
I tried so fucking hard there, holy shit!
You did good, I'm proud! I'm
I
literally
just didn't
gonna
ask
cry!
what he made!
I zoomed so fucking hard.
Alex, did you set that trap?
What trap?
You fucking know what you did, you beautiful fuck.
Well, speaking of shitting yourselves, who's going up next?
I vote Malifane.
Oh. Alright then.
Not to be that guy, but you seem the most calm out of all of us.
We'll see how
Mom's
long that
literally
lasts.
crying.
I guess is also calm, but out of stupidity, less bravery.
Trevlon moves over to freaking to fucking Momo and and casts message and says, "Don't worry, you did the best you could. She's a bitch."
Momo's just like... just covers his mouth, trying to hide a smile.
Big thumbs up. Way up.
Alright. You approach the pillar on the upper right side of the room. I was about to say a corner, but this room is circular. So there you go.
No corners in a circle.
All right.
All these squares
Same
make
thing.
a circle.
Yeah.
There's no such
Yeah.
thing.
Atop the pillar is a rather stocky, older-looking Marrow who looks like his eyes are always partially closed, so you're not sure if he's like asleep or awake, but he is looking directly at you, Malifane.
Sir, are you awake or?
I am paying very good attention to you, believe you me.
Okay, just making sure. So I take it that your people must enjoy good marine words. Sorry, okay. I take it that you all must enjoy marine life. Must enjoy seafood.
Of course we do. It's the easiest to get. A lot of the time, people are spending out in the water. That's the only kind of food there is.
Well, I may not know too much about what exactly is going on with my food, but I can say that I might know what will be going on with your food if this oil continues to take effect with the city.
Is that a threat, little man?
Sorry?
Is that a threat, little man?
No, not at all. Not at all. However, there is the concept of pollution. Now, I can't claim to be an expert on the subject, but, well, what happens when oil comes into contact with fish will go directly into your body, so...
I'm a smart man. I can find more fish.
And how long will that take before it eventually runs out?
I'm a smart man.
There's
I
only
have
so
done.
much, there's
Don't
only
try
so
to-
many that exist in the ecosystem.
I have done the calculations. It's my job. I know how to take care of family. You, on the other hand, only know how to make vagaries and threats about, oh, you're gonna run out of fish, oh, they're all gonna be poisoned. You think I haven't planned for the worst case scenario, little man?
Just take a side glance towards the rest of the party.
Have shrugs, like audibly shrugs.
Audibly.
Shrug.
Audibly shrugs.
He screams the word shrug from the top of his lungs.
Travelon points a finger at Mal. I'm gonna point this finger a lot. And says, ask him what his plans are. What's the worst case scenario? Find holes in his argument once he states what it is.
I'm gonna start making a second character sheet.
Love you too, little buddy. Okay, well, humor me. What are your plans? What exactly is going to happen?
60% of the world is covered in ocean, and in that ocean, there is fish. If the city of Shimmering Lights turns out to be unsustainable, family moves on, finds another place to settle down. Not everywhere's gonna have a rig, you know.
Travelon immediately points another finger and says, does every place that they go have a queen? Fucking zinged it, bitch. Oh, that's too much water, fuck.
I think there's too much water everywhere. 7 out of 10. And what about the monarchy?
What
You
about
can't
the
tell me
monarchy?
that there's a king or a queen, for that matter, a queen everywhere.
You'd be surprised.
Yes, actually, I would be. Please inform me.
Yeah. There are 50 Nereid's son. Even if Arista somehow can't make it out of the city, she'll reincarnate in another.
But how long can you last? Can you wait that long?
I've been waiting a long time, little man.
How long exactly?
Let's just say the prime of my years is well behind me.
I feel bad for pointing a finger so many times.
Point! Objection!
You're a bard, okay?
Am I just fucking Phoenix right now?
You're Phoenix
Yes.
Wright.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but
All right. Objection finger points towards Mal. He says, and Trev says, "You're right. You are getting old. Who's to say that your descendant is going to be able to carry out your plans? You are not going to be around for all of this. Before I say that, wait, retcon. Do Marrow live very, very long lives?
Let me check what Volo's guide says.
I better,
oh boy.
because otherwise, I basically just told an elf he's not gonna die.
I'm going to fucking
Half elf,
shit.
damn it, half elf.
FL.
Honest to God. Oh, fucking shit.
Yeah, you don't shit when you're accosted by a page golem, but when you talk to people, oh boy!
It's just like real life.
It's real.
Page golem can't turn us into
Okay,
jelly.
Just because I read a lot doesn't necessarily make me super smart.
All right, they live around 200 years.
I point and say, I point and say, how old is he?
I was just gonna say that, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna retract the finger.
Okay. Wait, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna touch that one.
No, don't say it. Don't do it.
So,
Don't do
with
it.
that, I don't mean to offend, sir, but just out of curiosity, how old are you?
Like I said, my better years are behind me. And you get the feeling you're not going to get a specific answer, but he is middle-aged at youngest.
Let's just assume that that's 100, 150.
Like mid-hundreds.
Dang.
Is it bad that I'm actually sweating right now?
You are getting into the roleplay, dude!
My dude, this roleplay. It's enough, I think. I'm not gonna point, but do what you will.
Out of character, you are a very, very persistent man, and I do not care for you.
We do not care for you or your skills.
Your skills, they mock
Come to
me.
me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
You come to me on the day that this big, green, beautiful bitch rises out of the ocean and stares at me. How could you?
Is this an offer that I am unable to refuse?
I will say, you have not yet found the phrase that will let you roll a persuasion roll.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'll start making a new character sheet too.
I am just stunned at this point. Like, I don't know. I am out of ideas. I can't.
It's okay. I know I can be a little bit intimidating. If I'm truly that bothering to you, I don't mind if you go ahead and go.
Oh gosh. Just little wet footsteps. I thought that was like wet feet hitting the floor.
It's snapping. I don't want to give up, but I really don't know what to do at this point.
Oh no.
I point a message and I say, ask who will lead after him. Who will
say
carry his
exactly
plans?
that.
Well, I don't have any kids of my own, but I got a pretty big family of sorts working for me over at Deep Blue. I know the drill. They can take on if something were to happen.
Do they have any particular qualities or specialties?
Oh, I teach them a thing or two. Not everything at once, mind, just in case one of them gets any ideas. But they learn.
But wouldn't it be better to teach them everything that you know so that they know exactly what to do?
And not foster cooperation?
Trevlon points a finger. Is there a limit on how many fucking times I can do this? I feel like such a
It's a
dick.
cantrip, so you can presumably do it all fucking day.
You know what?
I feel like
Please tell me that the puppet cantrip is available, because if so, I give full permission for Trevlon to just take control.
I don't think anything like that would be a cantrip.
I point at Malifane and say, he's very into family now, right? But what happens when one of your members of the family now gets hurt? There is a possibility now that people can get hurt. Don't.
So you're just
Cheating!
You legit just say blah 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 blah.
Fuck off!
Oh, beautiful.
I'm not going to make the roll until you say it in your own words.
Walrus, medic.
I point the message finger again. Trevlon says, repeat after me, word by word.
God.
You're very good at thinking about the future.
You're very good about thinking about the future.
Oh my god!
I'm going to have you do it with disadvantage.
You're very good about thinking about the future.
There it is. But what about now?
What about now?
What happens when family now gets hurt? Because there is a distinct possibility that spill will hurt someone. Hurt family.
Like your family.
Thank you, Jesus.
Roll persuasion.
You did it, you sexy fuck.
That one.
Good, don't you fuck.
Oh my god, don't do it!
Don't do that to me.
Fuck you, Phil.
Please, please, please!
If this happens again, I'm going to just walk over and push your character in front. I swear to God.
Just put Trevlon, get Trevlon a bunch of shit.
Ah.
God damn it!
You've given me a lot to think about, young man. But I can tell you're getting a little flustered, and that's okay. If you need to take a step back, I will not mind.
I hate myself.
I slowly start
myself.
I slowly
Hey,
start walking
how
back
you
towards the
doing? Well, I'm
party.
doing just fine.
And just start making, like,
I'm dying
little-
inside.
Just start making little elven swears to myself as I walk back towards the party. with the occasional undercommon one.
I just give you a really dirty look.
Kailani is just staring wide-eyed into space going, this is going great.
This is wonderful.
Please.
You.
Trevlon.
Can we knock them
Okay.
unconscious? I would really love to knock them unconscious.
Remind me who I'm supposed to be talking to, and this
No.
presumably
I
about
look
fighting.
towards Corellian and Trevlon respectively because I really don't want to give this to the Momos. Can we just knock them unconscious? I'd really love to knock them unconscious.
Physically cannot, the Queen will see and jellify us.
Are you sure?
Short
I
no.
think we might have a shot.
Okay,
No,
I roll to stab Malifane.
Oh,
I rolled to Jellify Malifane.
You wield a fucking hammer. How can you stab him with it? Also, no.
Just put the entire hammer inside.
Vetoed. Vetoed.
Stab with it.
It's gonna be a no from me.
I'm gonna
Stab
take
him.
that back.
Scoop his heart out with a hammer. Wow.
please
It'll
don't
hurt
take me to
more.
the scooping room.
All right.
Shut up, Scott.
Okay, so I repeat my question. Who was I supposed to be talking to?
Doriana.
You're supposed to be speaking to Doriana. And you, remember, speak to her about combat, about the battlefield, and then move on to the subject of how that oil is going to make defending your home hard. Okay?
Okay, I can remember.
Not gonna lie, I will kiss you on your mouth if you do this well. It's a fact. That's a Trevlon guarantee.
It's happened before.
Walking.
Just start slowly writing down
You,
the last will and
I go
testament.
this way, right?
Momo's just praying.
If the last 10 minutes of you talking amongst yourselves of who you are going to discuss things with were any indication, you are with Doriana.
Yes, I remember. I just have one quick question, and he raises his voice to address the entire room real quick. Pray tell, why exactly can we not go at all? Like, what is stopping us?
The contract.
Why won't you let us?
We didn't actually ask that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, listen. I am not smartest man, I must admit. But, what is there to lose? You have problem with oil. We are people willing to try to fix oil. What is there to lose? More oil? Not possible. We're not that... We couldn't possibly make more oil.
If you would have let me explain before you started stampeding over me, you would have heard me say the contract. But since you missed that, you big, dumb oaf, let me explain it to you in small words.
I appreciate this.
Have a contract with the Kobolds. In that contract, they will give us a sizable percentage of the valuable materials they dig from the bottom of the ocean floor. That includes gems, that includes raw metals, that includes magical artifacts. And in return, we are not to board the rig without their permission, or else we get none of that. If you were to board that rig, they would see it as a breach of contract, ask about it, and even if we were to say it's not on our hands, it is quite likely they would not accept that explanation, and they would shut everything down. And then, well, our economy would be in tatters, all because a bunch of idiots decided they would sail onto an oil rig and start hitting things in their investigation.
To be fair, we never said...
I mean, if your infrastructure is based off some jewels found in the ground by practically not you, it's a pretty weak infrastructure. Anyway.
Jules.
Dear, Doriana, correct?
Yeah?
What do you know about fighting?
What do I know about fighting? And then she immediately sits right up. Fighting is great! Fighting is what makes you a man or woman. I don't care what you identify as. Fighting is what makes you see the real heart of somebody. And by God, I am the best general this city's ever seen.
Now, this fish I could kiss.
Dear Kyle, I could kiss you. My God. You and I are kin.
Stand up straight when you're talking to me!
Yes, ma'am. Wait, sorry, ma'am or...
It's
sir?
a ma'am.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And he puts on like this big puffed chest out, arms back, head forward kind of pose, talks very... and it just...
Grab some
you know,
lip
that
balm,
kind of,
Trevlon.
that whole fucking thing going on.
That's better!
Oh, I admire you. You pull... sorry, do I know... do we know anything about the military force of this whole thing? Like,
I don't think you were at the...
around?
I don't think you were at the library when you read about how the Marrow fight.
I rolled earlier to see if I knew much about the military in general, but can I roll again in terms of specifics? How, what vein of...
I'll let you roll intelligence to see what you remember with the explanation that Malifane tried to teach you, but you were just thinking, who do I fight?
That's fine. Okay, 10.
Alright, 10.
Not the worst.
Could be one else.
Marrow are obviously masters of underwater fighting. Since they don't really have the ability to engage on land like most other races, but other races don't have the ability to fight underwater like Marrow, they use guerrilla tactics like hopping up from the water, spearing people, dragging them back into the water, and beating the shit out of them.
Oof, that's gnarly.
You know, I've been doing a little bit of reading.
No, you haven't.
I mainly pray. Shut the fuck up, I will stab you. I've been doing a bit of reading. As you can probably guess, focus on land fighting, but there's something truly majestic about fighting in the water. There's an extra dimension of movement.
She kind of unconsciously poses as you're talking about this.
Yes, obviously.
Oh my god.
But wait, she does or I do?
She does.
Oh,
My
yes.
God. He's literally saying
Oh.
the exact same thing I told him.
Give the fish a kiss.
I want to marry this fish. No,
I'm gonna kiss that, I swear.
the way they fight, the beautiful, the majesty is practically dancing with raw beauty and force. I have nothing but admiration for you and the people who fight under you. But I do have to ask, this land that you have here, this beautiful, bustling landscape with your beautiful oceans, they must be great fighting grounds, right?
Oh, well, of course.
If anyone were to, say, invade for whatever reason, whether be it your jewels, your people, your women, I don't know what people would get either way.
Let them try. They'll see
Let
just
them
how great the Marrow are at holding their domain.
Oh, exactly, and that's the kind of spirit I truly admire. But I do have one question. There is obviously oil everywhere in your oceans. Now, I don't want to presume. I'm sure this isn't hindering you whatsoever.
Of course
Your
it's
fighters
not.
are capable. Your fighters are capable. They are strong. If you are any example, they truly are unbeatable. But they still have biology to take into account. And as strong as anyone would be, I mean, look at me. Look at these babies, and at this point, I just pop every single muscle I own.
Roll
I mean,
performance.
look at me. Oh, okay. I hope this goes well.
You own a fair bit of muscles, technically.
Nah,
Yeah. No, seriously, it is flexing. That was just for fun.
yeah. I mean, look at this. I am unbeatable. I once beat an invisible man in front of a crowd of millions. Well, I'm exaggerating, maybe. But if I
She
were
does
covered
not
in
seem to
oil-
believe you in the slightest.
It was like 10 people or something. I can't remember. I was lost in the fight. But if I were covered in oil, if I were breathing it in, if I were drinking it, consciously or not, if I had gills and it was getting in everywhere, it would hinder me. Regardless of how good I am, it would hinder me. A fair bit. Would it not? For the same for you? Especially if it's everywhere.
Well, I, for one, have been able to muscle through it. Don't know what everyone else's problem is.
Can I roll like
Muscle through it. You say you've muscled through it.
Say it. You were saying, Jojo?
Oh, sorry.
no worries. Can I roll insight to see if there are any kind, like, what do I have to roll to see if there are any kind of, like, symptoms of, like, or damaged parts from the oil?
Medicine.
Okay.
I should. Oh, I don't want to
Kyle,
medicate.
please
but
bless
also
me.
I want to.
Nice.
You
Sick moves.
You take a look over Doriana's body, and even from this distance, you can tell there's there's a little bit of slick spots where you think oil was, but it's not there anymore. You get the feeling Doriana has swum through the oil, but done so in a way that did not get her sick.
Huh. I lean over to Trevlon, and I whisper, if you take a look at, take a look
Thanks to the bits.
Thank you for the bits.
Doriana? Is that how you say her name?
Doriana, yes.
Doriana. If you take a look at Doriana, she says that she's muscled through it, but you can see a little bit of some slick parts which the oil probably got onto her. So, like, maybe there was a way, like she doesn't seem harmed at all, does she?
Trevon strokes his chin and goes, glue is pretty easy to get off once you manage to get your hand off whatever part of it's on. But once you're stuck in glue and you can't move, it's not necessarily the getting it off part that's the problem.
there must have been a way that there must have been some specific way that she swam through it.
Most of course, she's...
Travelon shoots a message to Thav.
Yes.
And...
Can I just give you a suit and tie and like an attorney's badge now?
Yeah, just draw me a lot. It's a tiny, tiny Phoenix Wright with way more bags.
Yes.
He points at Thavigeth and says, she says that she muscles through it, but she seems very... It was clean, wasn't she? She's very she's not got enough all that in control. Ask about her swim technique.
So you muscled through it. That is very impressive. I don't think I could manage that. Could you, please, if I may be so bold? How? What is your technique?
Easy! It's real easy to spot dark black shit floating in the water. And if you can't go around it, you go through it. If it doesn't want to make you go through, you tough it out. And my webcam just crashed, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. If it doesn't want you to go through, you go right through and say, no, you move! And that, my friend, is how you get places in life.
God, I could kiss you. Right. Okay. I don't want to say this, but I have to. What if it just keeps coming? If there's more, it keeps going. There's more oil. You can't swim around it. It gets more tight, more viscous, more oil than water. What would you do then? There is only a certain degree you can muscle through things. And
are you saying I can't beat oil?
Of course you can beat oil. Are you kidding me? Nothing could beat you. But I think we can both agree you're a bit higher than average.
Right.
So what about literally everybody else? The poor, the weak, the old. How are they to survive? You are supposed to protect these people, yes?
Yeah.
Not always from... what's the word I'm looking for? Foreign threats. This is one in your neighborhood. Hurting your people. You can muscle through it, no problem. After all, you're amazing. But the average person, not so much. We are offering to go over there and perhaps, if we are able, lessen the sting. Maybe even get rid of most of this oil, or at the very least, stop it from spreading, stop more from going out. That's all we wish to do. That is our entire goal, to protect and serve. Surely we share this in common.
That was a good line.
Roll
I wanna kiss
persuasion.
Is the barbarian actually gonna do this?
I fucking know.
Travelon was not lying about the kiss comment.
Oh, fuck!
That's
performance, not
That's
persuasion.
performance.
Oh, shit.
Okay, gotta
Oh my god!
Oh.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Okay, pray to Kyle! Pray to
Cross your
Kyle!
fingers, cross your fingers, cross your
This
fingers.
week, Kyle, bless me.
Oh, please, please!
You motherfucking
Oh my god, no!
Why did Kyle not bless you?
Wait, no, I think I had... No, I don't have inspiration.
Were you rolling with disadvantage?
You want me to say you rolled with advantage and take the 10?
Yes, please.
Please.
All
I
right.
would...
Huh.
not.
Looks like there's more to you than just biceps, big man. Tell you what, I'll think about it.
Thank you very much. And at this point, Thav leaves in, like, real close so no one else can hear. Perhaps later we could talk tactics. I have so much to learn.
All right. He's like, you're welcome to try. If you can swim and keep up, that is.
Oh, I love you. And then just kind of... like,
All right.
And my
I think that
daggers
would
I'll
go.
leave to Momo. And my diary I'll leave to Quintessa.
As Thav comes back, Trev doesn't necessarily kiss him, but he just attaches himself to his leg and just hugs very hard. He did too well, and the fact that she didn't even say the right. And Trevlon immediately stops crying, and takes a deep breath and goes, right. Two more.
Davagath mimes dropping pumpkin seeds on Trevlon's head. It's the only thing he knows how to do.
Trevlon takes a deep breath and looks at Corellian and goes,
Oh boy.
do you want to do this?
Give me a second.
It's okay. Take your time.
Out of character, I have a pulse of 126. I have lost
shit.
50 years off of my lifespan.
Holy shit!
I'm actually dying.
No,
Oh my
incorrect. No.
god!
All right.
You can do this. I believe in you.
I believe in you.
If Thavagath can muscle his
Oh,
way
shit.
into a...
Just under my breath. Trevlon, like I said. Just be prepared to step in should anything happen. I will do my absolute best. No guarantees.
Trevlon raises a hand and does a little finger gun motion.
I just like take your hand and just look at you in the eyes and say, please.
Trevlon immediately drops the act and sort of smiles and just says, I got your back.
And the rest of my leftover
Thank
meat
you.
pie, I'll fuck it, I'll just throw that out.
Trevlon shoots a message towards Malifane and goes, hey, you know what's gonna make us less tense? You're not writing your will right now. You fuck. Stop. And Trevlon gives him like a big look like, write your will later. Get an actual mortician to write your will. Because right now, we're not jelly. Right now, we're in court. And then the CSI music plays.
All right.
Dun, dun.
I will approach Mizuko
Alright.
if I actually can, move my token.
There you go. There we go. Alright. You approach.
And I'll do like a half bow and a type deal.
Alright. You approach Mizuko on the last of the pillars. He is a very old Marrow in a pink little kind of shirt robe. I will pull up his picture right now. There he is!
Aww, he's so tired.
Such a tired boy.
Trevlon feels a spiritual connection.
Alright. Who sees you bow, and is like, Rise, you don't need to do that for me.
You know what?
Much
Take back what I
appreciated.
said about all of these guys. I like this one.
How's business been, sir?
Admittedly, not very well. The precious stones that the kobolds managed to dig up are obviously damaged due to a giant drill piercing them.
That is the case with anything that happens with drilling, that's for sure. And how much of a from one business person to another, how much of a cut are you getting?
60%. They don't really need that many gems, so I was able to get quite the generous offer.
If I may speak frankly, there really isn't any guarantee that you are getting your 60%, is there?
I suppose not.
I have a bit of an advantage when it comes to things like that, in that I kind of gesture to myself. I can make sure you're getting what you're asked for, if I can get feet on the rig.
He seems a little distracted.
Trevlon.
Is there anything else on your mind, sir, if I may ask?
If you're trying to act as a negotiator, don't bother. They send their own negotiators over, and I'm not in any want for money.
That's fair. So what seems to be troubling you, that being said? You seem a bit distracted.
None of the council's concerned, so you'll forgive me if I don't bring it up in the middle of this chamber.
Well, issues that affect the City of Shimmering Lights affect all of Arion. Trade is not something that happens exclusively in one place. We're all interconnected. So, while it may not necessarily concern the council, it should concern everyone.
It should, but this isn't a city issue.
I will do my best to act as an agent of yours. To be completely frank, we were hired on because of how the oil and the refuse from the drill has been affecting the citizens of the City of Shimmering Lights, and that is the reason we are attempting to get permission from the council to access the rig itself. That being said, if there's anything I can help you with personally, I would be more than happy to offer my services.
Roll persuasion.
Oh.
All right. As you say this, Mizuko looks up and looks about to say something. But then Gwenimir says, I think you all have had plenty of time to make your case. Gather back at the platform. We shall make our vote.
Trevlon immediately says, if it pleases the court, we have one more person to talk to, your High Priestess.
It does not please the court.
It does not please you. Trevlon coughs and says, I'm sorry, I've been thinking very hard about how I wish to entertain the Queen. How I wish to get her to understand our plight. And if you prevent us from doing so... Trevlon thinks for a moment and says, you will not be truly getting the full vote of the council. Or at least you will not be getting a fair trial. And since you seem extremely clear that protocol is important and that we should all be, well, as informed and as tactful as possible, I think you'll agree that it would be at least rather, well, it wouldn't exactly be very democratic if we didn't get at least a little bit of a word in, or a mime in, for the Queen.
You are certainly welcome to try.
Trevlon...
I will just wordlessly, I will do a bow to the council, and I will wordlessly just fuck off right back to the back of the party.
Trevlon puts a hand on Corellian's shoulder as they come back and gives a thumbs up and says, and sort of mouths, "That was great."
Just kind of like, thanks.
I lean down and slowly whisper in his ear, "Please knock her unconscious."
Trevlon puffs up his sort of sighs, puffs up his chest, brushes off his hat, sort of twirls his mustaches a bit, and walks down to the main podium.
Actually...
Oh.
Go right here, please.
Going right here.
And then I'm going to need you to make a dexterity save.
God damn it!
I'm worried.
Just make a
Probably
new
should be.
character sheet, man.
Shit.
Alright.
Is that... what the hell's
That's not a
about to break my
dexterity save.
Oh, that's not a dexterity save, sorry.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh, so much better.
Better.
You take a step down onto the ring of metal and glass, and then your foot catches something, and you slip on ice-cold water and splash down into the central ring.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And a couple of chuckles emerge from around the room. Oh, well,
Oh.
if you intended to get close to her to perform by splashing around like a monkey, says the High Priestess, as she waves a hand, and a hand made out of water
kind of picks you up and drags you back onto the ring, soaking wet. Then I'll cut you off right there and say, don't embarrass yourself. This is a serious council meeting, or so you say.
Trevlon looks visibly pissed at Gwenimere. I'm okay, out of character. Was that an actual slip on the ice, or did that feel like something else?
I was just thinking that.
I was about to say.
How are you going to check for that?
Insight.
Wait, can I check for it?
Insight, please.
I guess insight, would that work?
Sure, yeah, try insight.
Can multiple people try insight so that there's like multiple witnesses?
You pissed the High Priestess off something big.
Trevlon looks at the High Priestess and narrows his eyes, as if to say, the next time I see you, I'm playing some Pipes of Haunting and I'm going to scare you back to your mother.
Didn't we run out of uses of that thing?
No,
No,
it
we
refills
charged
a
it.
long rest.
Yeah. And Trevlon sighs and looks at the Queen, and is the Queen looking at me?
No.
Malachine is slowly preparing to raise his bow.
No, what? Put that fucking... Okay.
Trev, don't push your luck.
Would I be able to cast Prestidigitation to make some sparks to get her attention?
I think so? Yeah. Yeah, you can make a shower of sparks with that.
A little bit of sparks, yeah.
Uh-huh. Alright. You make a shower of sparks, and watch as eyes bigger than you slowly turn in your direction.
I lower the bow.
Trevlon, instead of starting to mime, takes out his lute. And thinking that if the Queen's main thing here is to not be bored, maybe he should entertain her. And starts playing as beautifully and as carefully as he can to make the Queen happy.
Roll performance with disadvantage.
Oh boy.
No! Oh, yes!
Oh, wow. Okay.
Damn!
Oh my god!
Sorry, Alex, but get fucked.
I'm gonna kiss you, oh my god!
I'm so happy.
She's still paying attention, and you think you catch the faint hint of a smile on her face.
Yes.
Trevlon smiles at her and bows. And goes back up to the podium.
Great.
Yes!
All right.
Trevlon, as he goes back to the podium, you notice that Trevlon's eye is no longer there. He just has bags now. It is all bag. His life is bag. His entire face is bag. It's just
I identify!
He has become bag.
I'm just gonna
acquire bag.
like sidle
Fly
up
bag!
to Trevlon and like kind of curl the tip of my tail against your leg, just kind of like, good job. Please don't give me a heart attack again.
Pat on the back.
I have like 8 years left to live. I'm like a cat. I've become a cat.
All right.
In that moment.
If you're done,
I'm done.
right,
Proceed.
it is time for us to take a vote. Mizuko? Mizuko just gives a quiet nod. Well, that's a bit of a surprise. How about you, Lycan? Should we let them on the rig?
No.
Figured. I like him still.
Yep. Alright. There we go. Doriana, please tell me you want entertaining the big sweaty man. You know what? I think I am!
Yes!
Oh, yes!
Right. Trenton?
As Trenton does this, I give Trenton a fucking look. Like,
Oh.
you know what to do here, buddy. Don't fuck me.
Abstain. Abstain,
Ooh.
as usual. What a surprise. Right, well, that's a
Interesting.
no from me and a no from the queen, so...
Hold
Wait,
on.
hold on a second.
What?
If you would, how do you know she says no?
She taps the side of her head. I communicate with thought.
Didn't you just say that you can't communicate with her through normal
I
language?
said you can't communicate with her. I never said
Can-
anything about me not communicating
Can
with her.
I
That is
roll-
why I am the High Priestess.
Can I roll insight?
Yes.
I roll bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can
that
I
that's
roll
what rolling
insight?
insight
Can I roll
is.
insight? Can I please roll insight?
Yeah.
I
Roll
need to get
insight.
back at this bitch.
Oh,
Say
bollocks.
no.
Well,
She,
this seems legit.
Yeah, this seems legit to all of you. Malphane, she probably is communicating with the queen somehow.
But how
Oh,
can we trust you?
Momo.
Momo!
Oh, you're so sad.
Trevlon
I'm
pipes
too
up.
sad and too disappointed in myself.
Trevlon says, our only way of knowing that she's of our answer is you, and you clearly think less of us than dirt. So why, with all the greatest will in the world, should we even think to believe you?
Well, you could certainly act as belligerent as you are and try to go on to the rig yourself with a little investigation. I would very much not recommend that, because if you do, you will not only attract my ire, but the ire of every single kobold on there. And it looks like, the way you behave, you need all the friends you can get. Shame you're very bad about picking them.
Trevlon
excuse me.
immediately steps forward onto the steps and goes,
No. I'm just going to put a shoulder on your hand and put a hand on your shoulder. Fuck you, Alex. And I'm just going to like try and restrain you and just say, Trevlon, no.
Momo immediately
now
jumps
is
up
not
and
the
grabs him by the arm, just like,
And
please
while
don't
you're
do
all
this.
And while you're all distracted with that, Davagath walks up.
Oh my god!
Trevlon gives a big smile. And says,
Um,
I'm
what
not
do
the
I
one
need-
you should be wearing it.
Okay,
No, don't do it!
Davagath looks up to the queen with like a really cheerful, almost childlike face and waves up to her. What do I get any kind of response
No.
from that, or
Nope.
nothing? Does she acknowledge me whatsoever?
She's not looking at you.
Ah, that's a shame. Okay. Hey, Doriana,
Yeah?
have you ever spoken to the queen?
No?
She ever spoken to you?
No?
You've only ever heard her words through this one.
She has a name.
Yeah, I've forgotten it.
Guinevere.
I point a finger, Guinevere.
Oh, right. Mir.
Meerkat.
Gingivitis. You've only heard her words through Guinevere, right?
Yeah?
Seems a bit weird.
That is the way it works! No one can talk to a Nereid except the Chosen!
Who?
Why?
And
Because that's the way it fucking works! That's the way you would learn how it works if you read a fucking book about it!
And why is she the chosen?
Because I was gifted with telepathy. I can read
What
her
am I
thoughts.
thinking right now?
You're thinking that's bullshit.
Actually, I was thinking about puppies. Bitch. No, I'm sorry. I know that's game breaking. Sorry.
then, knowing this, Trevlon breaks free from Malaphane's grip and thinks very hard whilst looking at Guinevere and says, I'm sure you can read my thoughts right now, so just know this. You're wrong. And every time that you treat people with high and mighty disdain, you lose years of your life.
Roll
You are
another
foul.
dexterity save.
Oh no.
I really hope I get this.
Yeah, you get every time you whoop and slip on the ground again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going
Please,
somewhere?
please.
The door's that way.
I scream thought, bitch.
I'm just going to walk down the stairs, pick Trevlon up, walk him back up the stairs, and just say, hiss in his ear,
Oh, yeah, no.
"You fucking idiot. Later. Not now. Later.
I'm pretty sure now is a pretty good opportunity.
Later!"
Trevlon yells, "We're not gonna do this. Let's move."
All right. You all start to head out, kind of dragging Kailani along because he's still in the. I'm kind of awake, totally awake. And Corellian, as you pass by Mizuko, you feel something bump against your shoulder as Mizuko says, "My condolences on the vote," and he walks off. And you feel something in your hand.
I'll wait till we leave the council chamber to take a look at it.
All right.
Dav, let's go.
Can I shout something real quick?
Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Momo is about to leave, and then he looks back and says, "We'll prove you wrong. I'll prove to you that I'm worthy. I'll prove to you that we're all worthy." And then leaves.
All right. As you all leave, the gigantic queen nods and dives back below the surface of the water, spraying the entire ring with this wave of salt and wash and wake and all that.
So you're saying that the salt is real?
The salt is real.
Oh my god!
All right.
I'm not sorry.
And you head out to the city of
My
Shimmering
pulse is
Lights.
126 right now. Holy cow.
I don't know what my pulse is.
Yeah.
Oh, do we feel the sudden urge to draw from something?
You, did it go to that tier? It did not. It did not go to that tier.
Before we do any sort of drawing, I just want to claws on Trev's shoulders, look him directly in the eyes, and say, I don't know whether you're a fool or just too damn brave for your own good, but I am not ready to lose any single one of you, and that could have easily happened back there. So fucking help me. Please don't do that again.
Pretty sure I was safe.
It's above our pay grade.
Trevlon, do it again, please.
All right. You head out to the city of
Thank you
Shimmering
for
Lights.
this.
Thank you for the bits. And then Kailani turns to you and says, "That went about as well as it could have."
Momo
Were
just
you
stops.
expecting worse?
Yes, I was expecting no votes.
You're optimistic.
Yeah, how many votes did we get again?
2.
Two.
Tasty.
Brilliant, you've still got something in your hand. You look at it. It is a note, and written in smudgy, watery ink is a simple message: Polestar Jewelers, midnight.
I know where I'm going at midnight.
All right. What do you all do?
Draw from the deck.
You haven't drawn from the deck. We agreed that Kyle's reward is not to draw from the deck 100 times, but to instead make him canonically a demigod. Thank you for the bits.
Oh.
I thought we were all drawing one after, at least one after this thing, though.
You know
Was
what?
that-
Yeah.
If you want to, I won't stop you.
Heck yeah.
Yay. I say we draw in the order that we all went.
Oh, so I go first.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you for the bits.
Thank you.
Momo, you go first.
Alright.
Hey, Momo! Guess who's going back to Discord Murder Party?
Oh no!
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
You teleport over there and you're like, what? And then the same really short, impish eldritch god says, "Wow, you know, you were such a hit with the audience last time around. We're bringing you back!" And blows a little party horn. Yeah, if Kristen does not blow a party horn, I will be very disappointed.
Give me 1 second.
You sound like that one gummy bear from fucking Robot Chicken. Oh, damn.
Dang it!
Alright. So, and then 6 seconds later, you reappear. Down to 1 hit point.
God
Momo's
damn.
just dead inside. He just has this look
And
of just.
outside.
He just has this blank stare. Just. And he looks both sad, disappointed in himself, and traumatized. And also, he just looks numb. He just looks numb.
Oh no. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yep.
Oh, Walrus, you're next, I believe.
I believe Walrus is AFK.
Yeah, Walrus has gone. So, we'll skip him for right now. Oh, the mic is dead. Great.
Ah.
Ah!
How cadaverific.
Beck.
Man.
I can't believe we've done this.
Just pull his card out for him, I guess?
Whose is that?
Uh, is the mic better? No.
No.
No. Oh no. I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, fuck.
Oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
Wait, whoever put the red eyes on Thavagoth, can you get rid of them? They're really, like,
I'm sorry.
they're fucking me over, man.
You know that's been there for like a
Don't look
week.
at me like that.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just only now started to fuck with me. It's just like, oh,
Hello, sweet people.
Hello.
sweet people.
All right.
I'm back.
Welcome back. We'll resolve the Wanderer later, but now it's your turn to draw a card.
Man, I'm such in a drawing mood. Just like I'm going to draw my own funeral in real life. Here we go. It's a man.
It is the hidden
Dark
truth.
Magician in attack mode.
Hidden truth. Okay. You've already drawn the hidden truth, I think, this level, and normally it would give you another spell slot, but you've already got one this
And
level, and I don't want you to be OP, so...
So, new spell? No, new card, I should say.
New card.
New card. You
Well,
know
give
what
it to
I
me,
feel?
I'll have a spell.
How about you go away? Oh, yes.
Oh,
my
no!
God.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh!
Yeah. And
It's our
from,
favorite boy.
and from the distance you hear, "Did someone just get through with politics?" And a dwarf just bursts from the water and lands at your feet.
Oh, he's
before-
always there to make us better.
I just want to
Why-
raise the hand
why
for a
you?
high five.
Yeah. All right. He high fives you, and is like,
Yeah.
"Oh, now that we're out of the boring stuff, who wants a fucking party?"
Trevlon immediately raises a hand and goes, I've done enough politics and things for a lifetime. Get me shit-faced, please.
Hell
Party
yeah!
sounds great.
Momo raises a hand.
Yes.
Once I'm actually down to get
Get
drunk by
clowned.
myself.
All right.
Any
Thavagoth raises his hand as high as he can. High five. So
All right. And then he high fives you, but since only Trevlon was the one who got it, Trevlon gets the inspiration high five from the Mountain Man.
Yeah! Woo!
Feel good.
All right. And then the Wanderer. Okay. So, as you're high-fiving the dwarf, you hear the sound of very loud preaching in Aquan, which you can understand, Malifane, because you speak Primordial. And you look over, and there is like this fervent preacher, Preacher Marrow, on some street corner, yelling at the crowd about the glory of the Kraken Queen. You are very quiet.
Yes, you are.
Is that better?
Yes.
That's excuse me one moment, and I just get closer and see if I can hear what they're saying.
It's a lot of stuff about how the Kraken Queen is the one true god of the seas. Like, when she returns to Irion, she will take the throne from the current queen. All praise be to the Kraken Queen, the goddess of storms, all that.
I'm not sure what to make of that, honestly.
Yeah. It's a lot of hellfire and brimstone, only more like hell water and brimstone because fish.
Hell will freeze over, basically. Okay, then.
Great.
Cool.
Then I believe it was Thavagath?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Please draw the trumpet a third time.
The Empty
That's not the
Throne!
trumpet. It's not the trumpet.
I forget, which one was that?
That's the political enemy one.
Oh, we've already got so many of those. Can I draw another one?
Did you draw it before?
Yeah, I've drawn it before.
Oh, if you've drawn it before, then that means something else will happen.
Ooh, what's this?
You examine yourself after having left the council chambers, and you are soaking wet despite not having been in the water before.
Oh.
And
Any
it is
explanation for that?
freezing cold water. It
Ooh,
fucking
wait.
hurts.
Oh,
Tim, make a strength
My
save.
nipple.
Thank you for the bits, Kyle.
Great.
Again.
All right.
My nipples could cut through diamond.
You're used to the cold being a Goliath, so you don't take that much damage. You only take 3 cold damage from the water.
Yeah, the cold never bothered you anyway.
Die.
Stop.
I won't
punch
die.
him.
I'll perish.
Desist.
Stop.
you're banned.
Stop it.
Get some help.
All right. And then last but not least, Corellian with the Forge. I think the Forge is one we haven't drawn before.
It is not. I mean, it is one that we haven't drawn before.
The Forge will summon one shopkeeper of your choice so that you can buy their stuff from anywhere.
Let me look over the list of shopkeepers. I don't really have the need to buy anything, or really the monetary ability to buy the things I would want to buy, should I want to buy anything.
Wah, wah, wah.
Could they hand the card off to someone for a later date? Or
Yeah, it
hold
just-
onto it for a later date?
You cannot hold on to it for a later date.
You know, I want to Carpe Librum booksellers. I want to buy a newspaper. I want to see what sort of things are going on over there. Just card event type thing.
Great. Like this astral projection of the booksellers appears before you, and you just walk in like it's a regular old shop. You're in a physical plane, and you buy the newspaper. The newspaper today, as I roll for what is in the news.
If it's something about us, I'm going to cry. Again.
All right. The news is still saying a couple of stories about the attack on Panmia Academy and how there was a big old golem that was defeated there. And they are also talking about, like, it's a fluff piece, really, on elven military units. Mostly about how they don't have a traditional military, they just have, like, really crack commando teams. So, like, smaller, highly specialized teams as opposed to a full-on military of soldiers and footmen and stuff.
Huh.
That is the newspaper for today. It looks like it was a slow news day in Port Mirandu.
Better than a fast news day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm good. Well, as good as one can relatively be.
It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I read news. That was news, I guess. It was not fun news. It was just news.
It was news. And that's in the
boring.
news! What do you do?
Okay.
Let's go get shit faced.
I like this. Good job, Momo.
Let's
I like
go.
your stuff.
Let's go have party bonding time. Cause
Let's all go to a bar and fucking die.
Let's not.
I am more than
Oh.
down for that.
we do have a teetotaler amidst us.
Shit.
What?
Alright.
What? Is
They can have tea. I don't care. I just want to forget about this day. I want to forget it ever happened.
What is your entertainment of choice, Mal?
Entertainment?
I.
Since you're
How
a
do you
weenie
do?
who won't drink, says the mountain man who is still there.
What do you do for fun? What do you do when you want to forget things?
Usually I just, oh gosh. No one's really asked that question before. Well, usually I either let off some steam with a little bit of sparring practice, or I just curl up with a book.
Did someone say fighting for fun? I like doing that.
You know, if we're gonna fight for fun, I'll put a bet on the dwarf. No offense, Mal.
None taken, I suppose.
Yeah, you're still pretty quiet.
I said none taken, I suppose.
All right.
Nice. Well,
Go ahead.
Trevor sort of strokes his chin and goes, "So presumably you'd feel uncomfortable with us drowning our sorrows, then."
You guys can go right ahead and do that if you want. I'm not taking any part in that.
Have fun remembering all of this. Momo just like storms off, trying to find the hardest bar they could find.
Don't go to the do not. Okay, on that note, do not go to the brothel. I repeat myself. don't go to it.
Pass on that sort of thing.
What's in the brothel?
Was it
Out of
You know what's
character.
in the brothel. You fucking
No, I forgot.
bitches and
bunch
whores?
a bunch of sexy fish.
Momo doesn't care and just goes
Not-
straight to the brothel.
And not the Zelda kind.
Damn, there are
Trevlon,
sexy fish in there.
Trevlon immediately like sprints towards Momo and like drags him, like puts a hand over his eyes and just drags him by the collar and just goes like, nope, brothel, scary.
Unhand me! I just want to forget about all of this.
The better way to forget. Trust me when I say you're gonna remember a lot. You're gonna make some more memories in here. Trust me. You want to lose them, not make more. Trust me. Nope. Small one, come with me. Get into bar, drink yourself to death. It's safer. And I'll take the most incorrect statements for 800, Jerry.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
safer than sex with fish.
yeah.
I really don't understand. What is the appeal of this? Of alcohol, anyways?
Well, okay. My personal take is, it is a good way to sort of grease gears, so to speak. Makes you a little bit less quiet, I suppose. Makes you more akin to speak up, which should be nice. And also for some people, it can make them just not care. And that's an appeal.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
As I say, if you'd rather not come with, that's okay. And presumably we'll try somewhat hard to make sure we don't get absolutely blitzed.
I won't.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would take a fair bit to make you blitz, Thav.
Thank you.
You're
Just,
welcome.
just try not to forget who your friends are.
That is a...
Why do you say that?
Don't worry about it. Go, enjoy yourselves.
Look,
Sir,
we're not gonna come
am
up
I going to be
punching.
drinking or am I going to be fighting? Because I like
Where?
both.
Oh, you
No.
want to fight? Come on.
Oh boy, that's going to be
Fucking both!
It's on.
You're Trevor immediately like perks his head up and goes, "Wait, this is happening?
It's happening, Trev.
Oh my god.
Place your
Okay.
bets.
I don't
The
want to be a
dwarf.
bad friend, so I'm not going to say what I'm betting on."
Well, we're both betting on the dwarf. I mean, me and Momo are. So.
Well, hypothetically, a man in my position probably should bet on the dwarf. That's all I'll say.
Oh, is that so? Come
Yeah.
on, Trev. Don't lie.
Just try your best, Mal. Thumbs up. And okay, let's I look to the dwarf and say, "Fight's on."
Yeah! And he just immediately charges at you, swinging a battle axe. As I try to find the damage die for the battle axe. This is going to hurt.
Oh dear God.
All right.
Oh, that's 2 dice.
Your AC is 15, right, Mel?
Let me look again. 1 second. 15, yes.
15, great. He hit you twice and is just laying into you with a massive axe.
You made a new character sheet like I asked you, right?
You know this is gonna be non-lethal, guys, right?
Yeah. You take a total of 14 slashing damage from the dwarf as he's just like wailing on you with this massive axe and not caring if the friendly spar.
I scream, "Friendlies, don't kill."
He'll be fine. He'll wake up in the morning, probably.
Trevelyan is like immediately like spooked out of his mind and thinks that Mal might die.
Let's.
He's not gonna die, Trev. He's a big boy. He can handle himself.
Yeah, but it's not himself I'm worried about him handling.
Oh, whomst are you worried about him handling then? Other than the dwarf.
Who else would I? Who else?
Well, I mean, there are 2 options. That dwarf, fine.
Yeah, it's the dwarf.
But there is
Definitely.
hypothetically another option. In my defense,
What is that?
as Gull,
Oh yeah, that's
you
true,
know,
actually.
the Mal's roommate.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
So I take a sidestep and I lunge for him with Crescent Blade, my rapier.
Okay.
All right, so Matt.
You named your blade. Nice. All right. With the power of naming your sword, you managed to hit the dwarf.
Okay, sure.
Great. Yeah. He takes 8 damage, and he's like, come on, you can hit me harder than that. And he just keeps on swinging his great axe. That's it. And that's a hit.
Oh dear.
Oh dear God.
So that is
Nice knowing you, man.
that is 18 slashing damage.
Oh my
shit.
god!
Man, why don't we roll this dwarf when we actually have fucking people to fight?
I know, right?
All right. Show's over. I think Mal has had enough of this friendly encounter.
How many hit points do you have, Mel?
I think like -4 or something.
All
Oh
right.
my god, he's dead!
You immediately
I'm unconscious.
you immediately drop to the ground unconscious.
Oh,
I guess he gotta hit me harder than that.
Not before saying just good fight.
He's a bit of a lightweight.
So I can see I'm off to get shit-faced! And the dwarf runs off.
well,
Let's stabilize Mal.
oh dear. I've heard of ways to forget your evening. This is an interesting one. Probably not going to go for it again, but sure, it's interesting.
Yeah, how do you usually forget your evening?
Yeah. Now you have been knocked out, so you are stable. He was not going to kill you.
I didn't think he would.
Presumably we would. Is he like just unconscious?
He's unconscious.
Maybe we should just let this one have a quick power nap and put him in bed. And before I forget, my main way of forgetting my evening is by drinking more whiskey shots than humanly should be possible.
You're a man after my own heart.
Technically not
You're
a man.
also
I'm a
not a
halfling.
human!
Exact. That's the joke.
Well, yeah.
The chat's saying he'll be malafine.
I love you guys.
You get my pun points!
Nice puns. Good job.
Also,
Very
check
good.
the check the general chat.
Oh yeah.
did check it.
I am
I
gonna
know.
I'm gonna put that up at the end.
Very good. That's a bunch of real. That's a bunch of real.
I don't want to be
mood.
unconscious. I'll leave.
I'll give him a little bit of a a little bit slap in the face, as if to say, yeah, like to try to wake him up.
All right, roll medicine.
Oh man, I'm gonna slap this guy so good.
You give him a nice medicinal slap, and he's up with 1 hit point.
1-800 are you slapping?
You should probably take a lead. You should probably you should probably get like. I'm not a mean person, and I usually am not a narc, but I think you should stop taking dwarves. It's a bad habit.
Yeah.
I cast
Slapping,
healing
my
words,
anti-dwarf.
by the way. Yeah.
Are
I
we
cast
going
healing
to
word, by
go
the way.
get drunk?
That was the plan. Well, other than Mal, of
All
course,
right.
if that makes him uncomfortable.
So, are you going to go get drunk?
Yes!
Great.
Momo is either way.
I'm going.
Trevlon is going to get slightly inebriated.
All right.
Let's go have a good sesh.
You head
Yeah.
back
I
to
am
the tavern.
so down!
You head back to the tavern, and you spend the night getting shit-faced or regularly drunk, depending on your preference. If you're Malifane, I guess you just stare judgmentally.
He's just
or
sitting
say-
there drinking
is it?
tea
What
like Kermit
time
the
is
Frog.
I was about to say.
I'm going to say you're spending a long rest doing that so you can heal up and get all your spells back.
Alcohol
Spells.
makes you heal? I
So,
didn't know that.
yeah,
What
a long rest
spells?
makes you heal. And if you would let me finish, it is around 11 o'clock at night.
So yeah, what exactly? What?
Alcohol fuels the heart.
Trevlon's... Yeah.
I have an appointment to keep, if you catch my drift.
Oh. Well, if
Can't
that's...
remember if I have anything.
Well,
I should,
You
I
get
kinda
the
wanna make sure
feeling that the god of chaos would like it if you all went to the meeting.
Come
If you
on,
don't- where are we going exactly, by the way? Sorry,
jewelers.
do they have jewels?
That's the idea.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right. Do they have business with us?
That's the idea.
do they have rings? Do they have really shiny rings?
You know, Asgol, you might want to keep your hands to yourself while we meet with the council member, don't
Oh
you
no
think?
no! It's not what you think.
I think. Okay, I think I trust Asgol. I trust you, buddy. You're a good buddy.
Oh, you're
gonna-
a lifesaver. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I'm confused, and also it's not. You know, what, I'll be okay with it for now. Bird needs carrying. Who take?
I
Don't
took
freaking
Alright.
touch me. I can walk all by myself.
Chat, just so you know, JoJo's camera just flopped over and gives a hot view of their ceiling, so that's
Oh,
how
baby.
much Momo can handle it.
That ceiling though.
They had like 2 entire steins of the
sexy
hardest
ceiling.
liquor.
Two
Not
glass
hardest,
boots.
but like enough to where they got absolutely shit-faced and passed out. Not enough to kill them, like I almost did. Haven't yet. I still hate myself for that.
The betrayal card. It's fun.
Trevlon sort of looks at the bird, or as they are actually called, Momo, and goes, "Bird fell over, man. That's probably not good." Yeah. Okay, I think I've had a
They'll be
lot.
fine.
I look
We'll
at
get
them.
some sleep.
Oh, right. You are still here.
Which one is that?
Who are you
Bird.
disappointed in?
Oh yeah, yeah. But okay, first of all, Bird's fine. Didn't poison anyone today, so good.
And who's the sultan tomorrow? You gonna tell me
yeah.
that?
No, I'm going to tell you this: nobody will die today. Not a single one.
Well, I believe you.
Yeah, I'm a very trustworthy guy. I speak my mind all the time, especially if it's on my mind. Where are we going?
The jewelers, Trev. Come on.
Yep. Okay. Right. And would I be able to cast something to shake off this alcohol? Or at least do something to shake off this alcohol?
Are you trying to shake off Momo's alcohol?
No, my alcohol.
Oh, my!
No, just leave Momo be. Just carry him to the meeting.
Alright.
I think.
Okay,
Is there a body of water nearby? What am I saying? Yes, there is a body of water. I'm an idiot.
No, it's a friggin' desert.
Just walk 20 feet to the right.
Yeah.
It's
okay. It's okay.
As we
I can
go
wake
out,
them up. Yeah, give me the bed. I can wake them up.
not the bird. Bird doesn't need getting waken up. Give me a second. And Trevlon, as he says, give me a second, dives into the water.
Great.
Can I just toss Momo into the water?
You're gonna have to...
You drowned them.
Roll a strength check.
Fuck.
Are you just gonna punt them into the water?
Maybe. Strength check, you said?
Yep.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Momo, roll a competing strength check.
With disadvantage, presumably.
A
Because
strength check?
Strength check, yes.
Okay.
Would it be a strength saving?
Oh, come on.
You know, that's probably the same thing, so I'll take it. Melifane somehow picks up...
Escal.
The elf picks up the heavily armored
Half
bird.
elf. Half elf.
now who's the
Scott,
racist?
I will eat you.
Well, we almost did it. We almost got through an entire thing without Vol. But hey, there it is.
Where's the bot when you need it?
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, Internet Remix actually has a counter in its office that has days gone by since 4 last mentioned. It's gone back to 0.
You pick up Momo and throw him into the water with a loud ass splash.
I'm gonna have to roll something to not stop myself from drowning. I only have 1 hit point. Oh wait, I have like 3 hit points left.
No, you took a long rest. You're all back at full.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
You're all
I'm
back at
so
full.
drunk. I forgot about that.
And those
you
of
know
you
this.
and those of you with spells are back at full spell slots.
Oh, thank fuck.
Right, let me just
Momo doesn't come up.
Trevlon sort of bobs back up like he's some sort of stick that's just gonna bob back up with the water.
Hey, halfwit, you mind getting the bird?
Yeah, bird. Oh, okay, I better get that. Yep. And Trevlon dives down and tries to pick up Momo.
Roll strength
Momo's
check.
actually awake and just looks over at him with really tired eyes and just puts a finger to his mouth and goes, as bubbles come out of his beak.
Roll a Constitution save, Momo.
Okay.
That's a strength
Oh,
save.
that's a strength save. Shit. Try that again.
Momo, somehow you're holding your breath.
As you're saying shh underwater.
Yeah. Trevlon, you pick up Momo and manage to drag them back above water.
Momo has
Hello,
this really
Sasha.
angry,
I'm the
drunk
Earth
look on his
Citizen.
face.
I really don't want to be late to this meeting.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
Oh, right,
Come on.
Of course.
Put me down, you friggin'. I don't want to go back.
Just go back into the loving arms of Thavagath, and Trev sort of lifts the bird for Thavagath to carry.
And
Hoist.
you! He points to Escal. You can go fuck yourself. As he falls asleep in Thav's arms.
I'm so proud of you, Momo.
Oh, my dear friend. I would if I could, but I'm afraid I
Pass
cannot.
those.
Let's not think about that too much. Let's meeting
not.
Let's meet in the middle and fuck not. That's not a
Trev,
sentence.
you are a man after my own heart. So
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
do that.
Well, he's a man who fucks. That's
This guy, he fucks.
This
guy.
fucking guy.
he fucks.
He fucking sucks and he's sucking fucks.
All right.
Don't think too hard about that.
You go through the dark streets of the city of Shimmering Lights. This late at night, not a whole lot of Marrow are out and about, so it's like you're sneaking around in the darkness, like, some light is reflected off the moon, shining on the crystals, not enough to make Mal wake up, basically. And you get to Polestar Jewelers. The door has a sign in it that reads closed. The building itself is carved out of a single large crystal. As I scroll down to get more of a description. It's a single kind of pale blue crystal, separate from all the other crystal buildings around it. And it's got a simple way of showing what it is, because the name Polestar Jewelers is carved into the crystal itself.
Nice.
Could we get the store itself listed down at all? Or?
Polestar Jewelers? Yeah, let me, I can pull up what they have for sale, but they're closed, so...
It's fine.
We'll just break in. It's all good.
I mean, I'm sure they have price tags put down.
So, where exactly are we meeting this council?
Whoa, that's pricey.
Here, presumably, and I will go and try to open the door, or at least knock.
Alright. You knock on the door, and after a minute, it opens. And Mizuko is standing there, at the other end of the door. He says,
My boy.
You came. Good, come in.
Of course, and in we go.
Alright.
Yeah.
You enter the jeweler's, and he shuts the door behind you. So glad
Escal just dashes right to the rings and just does some window shopping, so to speak, even though he's not able to buy anything.
Aww.
He just looks at them real hard.
Stare really hard at them.
Those some good rings.
I'm buying them with my eyes.
I'm making them memory bot.
Well,
That doesn't seem like our taste.
Councilman, how can I be of assistance?
well, as you probably have guessed, matters that are taken to vote by the Council of Scylla do not tend to get pushed through very quickly. I, on the other hand, have a rather personal reason. I want to see that rig shut down. And, he heads back behind the counter and pulls aside a curtain. And there, lying on a bed, is this coughing, pale-skinned marrow child covered in oil.
Oh.
Escal immediately turns his head away from the rings and notices the child.
Oh.
My daughter, Jenny. She used to be a feisty one. Goes out swimming in the bay all the time. Till she swam out too far and got caught when one of the oil vents erupted. According to the contract, I can't do a damn thing about it. You aren't bound by that contract. I want you to get...
Sorry, go ahead.
Full disclosure, you don't need to say anything. We were gonna go onto that rig anyway?
And how are you going to do that without my boat?
Praying, mostly. But I didn't realize you had a boat. That makes things way easier.
Thanks, bloody are the best, and I love you.
Aren't you asleep?
Yeah.
Please apply boat.
Apply boat.
He's coming like in and out of consciousness.
Yeah.
Slightly out of character, would using lay on hands help alleviate Jenny's pain?
I have
in
tried
sort of way?
every single method of medicine that would help her. Even Kailani tried to help out. Doesn't seem to have any lasting effect. In a matter of hours, she's sick again.
Kailani was the high priestess, correct?
Kailani
No?
was the fucker who was accompanying
No?
you!
Got it. Got it.
Well,
got
he
it,
cured
got
our
it.
curses,
I
so
was
he's
just about
pretty
to say-
fucking good.
I
Wow,
was just.
I thought I was ignorant.
So fucking shut up. I'm tired. To clarify, was where is Kailani currently?
You don't know.
Where did he go after
He has,
our?
he has a home.
Yeah.
He lives here.
He's got a home, he's got a job.
He's got a family.
So, Trevlon strokes his chin and goes, "Have you told the other council members about this?"
I have tried, and the response has always been the same. That's terrible. Sorry we can't do a thing about it. Until today, it seems Doriana was tempted by someone and offered a couple of boons of her own for anyone who just so happened to take my boat over towards the rig. You are very quiet, my good man.
I said, what is that?
Thunder spears. Specialized explosive weapons meant to be used underwater.
Now we're talking.
Hold on there, buckaroo. We want to stop the rig, not destroy it. I'm not a science expert, and neither am I entirely sober. But I don't think it takes a genius to assume that blowing up the rig is a surefire way to make a big vat of oil.
It all sounds the same to me.
Then you don't have to destroy it. All I want you to do is kill the son of a bitch who runs it.
Whoa, time. Now, I may not be the brightest tool on the tree, but nobody said anything about killing anyone.
Well, I just did. That monster poisoned my Jenny, and he won't lift a finger to make amends for it. He has to pay so
Skull's got a heart!
He has to pay so that no one else gets hurt.
Mizuko, and I will kneel before him. You have my word that I will do everything in my power to make things right.
Whoa! Time out.
Shut up, Eskull! This is my word, not yours. You can do whatever the feck you want. But I am giving my word and my promise.
We are
so
not
I don't
taking
care
any
what
lives.
you do.
Not now, not ever.
Feck off, Eskull. You don't control me. And you never could.
Rainman, shut up.
Trevlon also says, not to be that guy, but I'm gonna go devil's advocate and say maybe Esgol has a point. I'm not saying that not killing this person is a great idea, and it's not honestly not even the preferable idea, but we just made a bit of an impression with the council. If we manage to kill someone, I can think of a few people that the council are going to question.
You can let me deal with the council.
I never said anything about killing anyone.
We could just get down quick enough. See, I've done it before. Angry crowds are fast crowds.
I think there is a way to solve this issue without violence. But that's not going to. That doesn't mean that we aren't going to have to crack a few skulls to get towards this person, because I'm going to assume that the guard that patrols the rig aren't exactly friendly bunch.
You refuse to do this?
No. Not what I mean.
Trev, look at me.
Trev looks.
It's easy for me to blend in. I never said anything about killing. I said that I would make it right, and right, I will make it. Please just trust me.
Trevlon looks at.
We'll figure it out.
Trevlon, what is this fellow's name, by the way? I'm terrible at this. Mizuko, right.
This is why you take notes! Hey!
This is why you get good at remembering things, you silly bitch. Sorry. I am bad at that. Sorry, that was a mean thing I said about myself. I should flagellate wait, that's not how that works. Never mind.
It's fine. I love you.
Oh,
Roll to flagellate.
you classy son of a gun. Anyway, Trevlon strokes his chin and goes, do you want us to promise you that we are going to kill him to get your boat over there?
Yes. I have waited long enough with a suffering child to hear empty promises of we'll see what we can do, and we won't kill him, we'll just talk to him. He needs to pay for what he has done, my Jenny.
mean, I'm a sucker for a snob story. Let's kill the guy.
Momo lifts his head up slightly and just goes, with like this drunken smile, "Kill the bastard!"
You Bob.
Escal, Trevlon.
Not
Trevlon,
another word. You
Trevlon
can do
looks.
what you want. Call me when you're done with your act of murder.
Trevlon looks at Esgal and says, has Esgal... That's a very good point. Has Esgal actually killed a living person before?
No.
He may act like it, but I don't think he has.
He's killed several rats.
As Trevlon looks to Esgal and goes, before you go, I'd like to know what is making this so difficult. And I'm not trying to sound like a psychopath, but this isn't just a normal let's not kill someone attitude. You seem, well, convicted by it.
You've lived with someone who goes by the moral code of harming and not killing those with an actual conscience. And that has been passed down to you. It's kind of hard to break from that, wouldn't you say?
A lot of things are hard to break, and the fact that
especially when that one person has been practically semi-conscious, rather practically brain dead, for most of your life. You do what you want. I'm not partaking in any of this.
You know what they call people who don't act on their convictions? Cowards. And I will never be a coward again. I applaud you, Esgal, for acting on your convictions. And I'll give him a slight nod. That being said, I personally, no matter what they all say, will do whatever it takes to make things right.
Very good. In that case, he looks over at Esgal. He can stay off the boat while the rest of you go about your business.
I look at Esgal and I say, what's Mal? Mal presumably thinks similarly to you. The other one. What does he think about it?
He's talking about Mal.
Yes.
I think he
And
has
one-
the same mentality.
Cass.
That's a very good point. I shoot a message to Momo, and I say, do us all a favor and glow a lot, you beautiful bird.
He doesn't know that it's in his head and that it's message, so he says, "You got it," and then he just starts glowing.
All right. Momo, cleric of the light, remembers to cast light and starts glowing and illuminates the interior of Polestar Jewelers.
Hey, buddy. You have to kill a guy?
Long story short,
We're gonna kill someone who poisoned another chick.
what is that accent?
A drunk bird accent, okay?
Are you making fun of me, Momo?
What?
Don't worry about this.
Are you both implying that all British accents sound the same? I'll go.
I'm not even using a British accent.
Irish, this counts.
I don't even know if it's really Irish
So
at this
you're
point.
saying that an Irish accent is the same as a British accent to make your point. Who's the racist now, Phil?
Me! I'm British! Sorry to interrupt.
So, we're gonna kill someone. Mal, how do you feel about it?
You're what? Why? How? Who? What?
Okay. Let me explain from the beginning. So, after the meeting, we all went to a bar and drank some things. Came out of the bar. We're now pretty sober. The
Well,
Giscan.
about him. Points towards Momo.
Yeah, Momo's very tired. Nah, I can't lie to you. He just did not feel so good, and in any case, don't think too hard about that.
I'm thinking pretty hard about it.
Just don't. Well, you've got bigger things to think about right now, because here's the skinny. Some of that oil has gotten on Nezuko's daughter.
And at this, you hear a hacking cough from the back, and a weak voice saying,
Thank you.
Are these people here to help me?
and Nezuko turns to you, Malifane, and says, one of them appears to be undecided. The rest will help you. I swear it.
Trev looks to Mal and goes, Esgol was not having it. There's someone on that rig who is not thinking, who refuses to stop, and will stop at nothing until this whole lake and this whole ocean is full of black, and more kids get oiled up. Oh, who left?
He wasn't having it.
That would be Scott.
God damn it, Scott, I was role-playing, man.
Having a moment.
Scott's not having it.
Scott's not having it.
Scott's so not having the plot hook that he just fucking left.
He fucking died.
I can't believe Scott's fucking dead.
I can't believe.
Well, in that case, I shall roleplay on Scott's
Oh,
behalf.
there he is. There he is.
No,
Let's kill him. Kill them all.
No.
Let's go on a murdering spree.
No, Scott's back. Okay. So Trevlon continues and says, there isn't going to be any real easy way of stopping this, but there is someone we can stop. Esgol isn't into the idea of ending his life. But you're not Esgol. And to be honest, this crew doesn't function well without the whole crew. Yep. I can understand if you have grievances about it, but we really need your help.
As the silence, Momo just and he like glows slightly brighter.
Okay, seriously, is there like some water we have nearby, or like a piece of?
We tried that. We literally I'm damp and so is the bird. We literally landed in the river, didn't
You
we?
two are soaking wet, that is correct.
Yeah, didn't so much. Oh, there's only so much water that can make things better. But besides the point, what are you thinking?
Look, I understand what you're trying to do. Look, isn't there a way around this? Can't we just, like, talk it out, or knock the guy unconscious and, like, throw him in the slammer or something, or?
What slammer? The people and the council of this land want them to do this. They aren't gonna accept this guy put in jail.
This isn't right, though. There has to be a better way.
Sometimes there is no best way. Sometimes when you're in a scenario and things just kind of happen,
When you're faced with two evils, Mal, do you fight the lesser evil or the greater evil? I know which one I fight. Maybe you should make up your own mind.
My mother taught me a mantra of harming but not killing those with a good conscience. I still stand by that. Now, I'll follow you wherever you guys go, but when it comes to that battle, I'm afraid there's nothing that I can really do.
Then you ain't getting on the boat.
No. He can help us, but he's just not going to participate in the final fight.
No one's making you strike the final blow.
I refuse to get blood on my hands. I'm sorry.
Have fun living in this world, Mal.
Trevlon
comes
sort of
everyone.
Worked for my mother. It's worked well. It almost worked for her. And it's gonna work for me.
Guys, I've been thinking. I've used all of my thinking points for this last 10 minutes. I'm out of it for like the next 2 years.
with your performance in the council meeting, I don't know, like, how are you alive? That was
I was gonna say.
very impressive.
Honestly, sometimes I just open my mouth and words come out.
Very good words.
Good at kissing ass. Anyway, I hate to agree with the Two-Face over here, but obviously I have no problem with murder. I mean, look at me. But this is a decision not supported by the people. This is not a government-sanctioned murder. This is not some kind of petty revenge. This is not one civilian killing another civilian. This is 5 outsiders coming into a town and murdering a guy in charge of one of their biggest imports. I can't see any outcome where this person, would not be treated as a martyr. Unless we go over there and completely dismantle everything that they hold dear, destroy the rig.
Sure, Thav, as if a kobold would ever be treated as a martyr.
I don't fuck you. You know what I mean. It's a case of you're not martyr, obviously. That's the wrong one. That's the closest word I could think of. But it's a case of if we kill him, nothing's going to change. Someone else will take power. Someone else will always come along. Those resources will always be there. We've got to do something different. Not to say we shouldn't kill him anyway, but we've got to do something else. Either before or after.
Zuko,
Otherwise, the solution's not going to be fixed.
Zuko, how long did it take to build that rig?
Several months, close to a year.
Destroy the rig?
Again, it'd be difficult to destroy the rig that's currently mining oil. We don't want to make more any harm to the environment than already has been made. Maybe there's a way to shut off the drill. Maybe activate a failsafe.
Do
You
we
lot
have anyone
think
on
too
the inside?
highly.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, what we need, regardless of what we end up doing, what we need is someone on the inside. We need someone with plans.
We don't need somebody to come with us for that.
No, obviously not. We need someone to tell us what kind of thing this is, otherwise we're coming in blindly. This is what I love to do.
Listen.
You don't understand. We don't need word plans. We need physical plans. Someone did build that rig. Someone built that rig and lives in town.
Yeah, you know, the council member who oversaw the building of the rig that we spoke to in the council chamber. Somehow I doubt he's going to try and help us. That being said, I could probably get on the rig fairly undetected considering, well, you know, me, gestures to all of me, and I could at least get us a foothold in.
What I mean is, we don't necessarily need his agreement or consent. We can just steal the plans.
You're gonna go...
I mean, I like this plan.
I look to Mizuko and I say, what was his name? Shit. What's his name? Oh god. He began with a T. Yeah, it's a T.
It's T. I'm going to sit here and wait as you struggle.
No, give it a second.
Understand, I'm just going to call him Tits McGee if you don't give it.
It sounds like Trevlon.
No, it's like tea and biscuits.
I thought that Tits McGee was Queen Arista.
That's true. What do you think?
Thank you for the bits.
Thank you for the bits.
Thanks, yeah.
It's
Was there a note with the bits?
The bits said, "I love you all. And the
Aww.
yeah.
Right.
Love
Well,
you, man.
well, we can sneak into his house, steal the plans, and we'll have a damn good way of shutting off the rig possibly once we get on it, and a map as well. Do you know where he lives?
Yeah, Mizuko gives you directions. I'm not gonna say what they are exactly. Just assume that he knows where the counselor lives.
All right. Anyone up for a stealth mission?
Game.
Hell yes, I am.
You are staying with me while we watch.
No, I want to go
No.
on stealth mission, please. I just want.
This side note, and I know we're already asking a lot of you. Do you have any birdseed? Anything, Mizuko?
No.
Pumpkin seed hole?
No. Why would? No. No,
No.
I don't. No.
No.
Well, that was worth a shot.
Well,
Right then. Let's go steal some blueprints.
All right.
before we do, I'm gonna take a look at these. Right? Oh God, these are expensive.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
expensive gems.
Mm-hmm.
Some gems and jams
Yeah.
and all kinds of.
This is just what I have on
Terrible.
public display. I keep the really good stuff in the back.
Similar to the drugs I sell. Did I not tell you? I sell drugs.
We're gonna have to have a talk, Trev.
No, that's a joke. That was a joke. Shh, don't worry about it.
Travel sells drugs. You heard it
All
here
right.
first, ladies and gentlemen.
So, great. You realize that's going to be in the final product as we try to close out. You all head out, agreeing that yes, this stuff is expensive, and you head for Counselor Trenton's house to try and steal plans for the oil rig. And that is where we will stop.
Yeah.
Thanks
yeah,
for the bits.
boy. Thanks for the bits.
Oh shit.
We will see you all next week as I figure out how are they gonna stealth mission this.
I'm not
Quick,
even gonna
are there
be
boxes?
there.
Yeah, this is a stealth mission. The use of sneaking will be required. All right.
Colonel, I need some boxes.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Kyle,